any case, welcome to the first game of the first set of the day. This is the group stage round 2 of King of the Desert, sponsored by MemTV. I keep saying sponsored by MemTV. I mean, he sponsored it as well, but he's hosting it too. Damn. I don't know why. It just feels natural to say it like that. Any case, well, this is a match between Liereyy and TaToH, and this is going to be a big one. Now, because TaToH is gray, if you don't mind, I'm going to make him a different color here. I think I'm going to make him blue. Or orange. Is orange green? Is that good? No, that shouldn't be good either. We'll just make him blue if you don't mind. For the remainder of the series, because that's easier to see on the minimap. So blue versus green. I mean, Liereyy likes his green, so we'll leave him be in the green. It's not a problem on this map because the background is more yellowish, you know, more orangish, so it doesn't matter. Any case, now this is going to be a tough match, especially for TaToH, who's probably seen as maybe the underdog in this case. Although TaToH again is a very strong player as well. You know, definitely proving that the day before yesterday. But Liereyy, I mean, this kid, man, I mean, he's not as young anymore as he used to be. I mean, still relatively young for an Age of Empires player, but I mean, you know, before he was like a teenager who just played League of Legends, sometimes showed up for an Age of Empires tournament and just defeated everyone, right? I mean, now he seems to be taking the game a little bit more seriously. He's playing it maybe a little bit more, but still, you know, it's just sometimes a bit disconcerting, the micro that this god has, you know, with what was it, a peak APM of 368 effective actions per minute just the other day. Christ, I mean, just think about that. Just think about how many clicks that is, and it's effective clicks. It's not just like click in a desert and I'm thinking you get actions with that. No, it's actually doing things per minute. It's craziness. So yeah. But, I mean, speed isn't everything. Speed doesn't always win games. Strategy wins games as well. Age of Empires remains a real-time strategy game, which is both about speed and about strategy. And if there's one player that is well known for coming up with out-of-the-box strategies, it will be TaToH. You know, who together with TaToH loves going for the crazy stuff, coming up with new ways of playing the maps. So, I mean, this is Arabia, so about, you know, there's only so much you can do with a map like this, because that's the whole point of Arabia. There aren't a whole lot of different crazy gimmicks with this map, you know, but that doesn't mean that there is no room for strategy, and we'll see what TaToH has in his up his sleeve to defeat Liereyy. Now, let's have a look at the map, shall we? We got a forward gold for the main gold for TaToH on a hill too, so that's kind of awkward. Forward berries as well, but not too far away from his main TC. So when I say forward, it's not as bad as it could be. But yeah, woodlines are all to the back, kind of. This woodline is somewhat forward, but still, it's very open on the left side and a giant hill over there as well. This hill is going to be really important for TaToH to control. Like, this is like a hill you would castle as soon as you can in the next stage. He is Burgundians, so I mean, if you want to go for Custiliers, I mean, Vivi made him work in the first in the round of 32. So hey, why not, huh? Why not? But you are up against Khmer, and Khmer are likely to spam cavalry as well. So Khmer and Burgundians, I mean, Burgundians are gonna have, well, would have a disadvantage normally in the late game because their heavy cavalry gets worse than their opponents usually, but Khmer don't actually have a paladin, so it's actually a pretty even map at that. Both sides can add infantry if necessary as well, so it's, I don't know. I'm not really sure which one I favor here between Burgundians and Khmer. Both civs also have a really good economy, although Khmer has the better economy with the farms, at least, you know, because their farms drop off instantly. Burgundians still can get their eco tax. As you can see, double bit X already in for TaToH, but Feudal Age isn't in yet. Now, both players probably just going to go scouts here, at least that would, you know, would be surprising to me to see anything else here. I think they'll just be scouting around. They'll see, you know, that's probably scouts for us. So, anyways. Now, as for Liereyy, he also has technically 4 woodlines here. This one is kind of weird and far away, but most of his are kind of forward, so that's easier to wall as well. Of course, Liereyy, his Khmer goes up a little bit earlier and doesn't drop a barracks because he doesn't need to. You don't need as many villagers on wood because of that. Now, I have said this many times. In a scout war, being Khmer is both an advantage and a disadvantage, right? Yes, you can drop this stable without dropping a barracks. And yes, that does speed up your time a little bit. But if your opponent makes spearmen, you don't have anything to counter that. Because you won't have a barracks. You can't make spearmen. So that is a disadvantage, right? If your opponent comes forward with spears, you have to fight with vills, basically. You can't engage with your scouts, which means you can't push their scouts back if they bring their spearmen along. And that is a problem. Now, Liereyy does have a back gold, does have a back berry, so his base is significantly better than TaToH's base. I think they can both agree on that one. So TaToH's probably going to try to wall the front of his base, but he's not on a wall on the hill, is he? I mean, he has gold on the side, he has a gold... Yeah, it's still, he has to secure this gold somehow. It's the only safe gold. All his golds are forward. Like, this is one of the situations in which one player has a really nice map and the other player does not. And Liereyy definitely has the better map out of the two. Honestly, like, that's pretty clear. Also coming forward with some scouts, but TaToH has has walled in his lumber camp. On one side, has brought his spearmen out to the other one, and yeah, for now keeping these spearmen defensively, you know, looks like TaToH recognizing how bad his map is probably going to keep his scouts defensively as well, and just trade against the scouts for Liereyy, unless he can maybe get an engagement, get enough spearmen out, and then, ooh, nice hit there, maybe go for a counter attack, because Liereyy is not walled as well, unless you don't count the occasional small walls here. Oh, TaToH for now. Yeah, like I said, he's just going to keep himself safe for now. Like, he recognizes my base is bad. My base is bad. I cannot just go forward and attack here because I'll get overrun. I'll get overrun because Lierey's a fast player. He will find a villager that is straggling somewhere. It's, but Liereyy taking 2 hits on his scout already. So this scout is rather weak here. It's 7 scouts for Liereyy. Jesus Christ. He is spamming scouts right now. He is spamming a lot of scouts. I mean, I know you're Khmer, you know, your villagers do not have to drop off, so they can just take the food, and that's it. But 7 scouts, a lot of scouts, so TaToH needs to be careful not to get overwhelmed here by his opponent's numbers here. As Liereyy maneuvers through the spearmen here, trying to find a way out, but the TaToH has walled this. TaToH's trying to get hits in on the spearmen, trying to hit on either side as the scouts, because TaToH might not have expected the fact that Liereyy was making so many scouts, is attacking on the other side, gets a vill snipe, very nice there, 1 villager down for TaToH already, and that's probably because he didn't expect so many scouts as a villager gets quick walled in. Very nice for TaToH, showing he can be a Liereyy too, on a hill too, which is impressive. So yeah, these scouts are going to run away, but still, this is how you do it, right? You distract on the right, and you attack on the left, you know? And TaToH, he's probably going to realize, okay, there's a lot of scouts here, I should probably wall this up as good as I can. And there's some urgency to this as well. Look, there's 2 villagers walling already, a 3rd one walling, many spearmen here, so TaToH really wants to wall this up. Really wants to get this walled. He's going to tower his gold as well, but that tower doesn't protect your gold from all sides. You know, like, for me, like, if I want a tower of gold, I always try to put it on the front, right? Try to put it on the front. Ideally, you wall it in as well, right? Yeah, but, I mean, TaToH, I mean, this gold is terrible. It's terrible. Especially the situation he is in right now, as Liereyy is just spamming scouts. Going to try to get through here as well, but TaToH's going to house wall behind this. Now, once he is more secure, he might be able to, to come forward. And do some damage, but not right now, not right now. First archers coming out as well for Liereyy. Ooh, an archer gets sniped by TaToH's scouts. Very nice. Picking up those early archers, very important, because if there's not a lot of archers here, Liereyy doesn't have a lot of micro. That's very important. As the scouts still try to get through here, and TaToH desperately trying to get the house walls up to defend himself here. House walls, I mean, they don't have a lot of melee armor anymore, but they do have a lot of pierce armor, so, I mean, at least you can keep the archers out for sure. Not so sure about the scouts, though. That's a lot of scouts chipping away at your base. 9 scouts, no joke. But remember, that's a lot of spearmen as well. You know, TaToH is... these spearmen can easily kill all these scouts, so that's... it's not something Liereyy can fight. He's trying to get through, but for now, TaToH seems to be fully walled, which means that if he wants to send his scouts forward, he probably could. He probably could. Lierey's still not walled. I mean, I don't think he's going to wall. It doesn't seem to be a thing that Khmer players often do. As TaToH is looking for his enemy's armies, but is going to try to snipe this archer, but Liereyy bringing in his scouts. But now the spearmen are here with chased by a lion, so the scouts will have to run away again. And TaToH really wants to kill the archers. He really wants to kill the archers first, because those are dangerous. If they can snipe his spearmen, that's a problem. TaToH though buying himself up to the next age, basically. Also, no, actually not buying himself up. He clicks up and then sells some wood to buy some stone so he can drop another tower. So he's basically all in, doubly so. Yeah. Defending for now, but like I said, TaToH's map was absolutely horrendous. Luckily, as a tower, it's smart enough to recognize that this tower is necessary to defend your gold, especially because he wasn't going to make a whole lot of units here. Like, he just tried to get up the castle. It's going to get there 20 seconds faster than Liereyy, but you know, Liereyy, of course, already has expanded his economy significantly, has walled in a significant part of his base as well, actually. Going for the small, a bit of small walls, right? I mean, these villagers, the thing is, they can hop into any of these houses that you can see because they are Khmer. That's why it's always smart that if you're Khmer, exactly, build houses everywhere. Just build houses everywhere. Villagers can easily jump into houses, and enemy scouts are never gonna really get a kill if you're paying attention to this. Yeah, so see, TaToH is taking a villager. Okay, but he's not paying attention to that one. And a villager going down there for TaToH gets his kill, while Liereyy was probably distracted at the front here. TaToH should be careful not to lose his spearman there. It's gonna run away. You know, the archers can't really get too close to these to the tower, of course. Anyways, and yeah, TaToH just after that scout, this snipe might keep his scouts around, just to see what Liereyy is doing as well. It looks like Liereyy is going to go for some light cap and crossbow. So no knights for him for now. Never mind, is getting knights, is just getting light cap upgrade for the scouts that are left. Light cap that will be much stronger at killing these spearmen. As TaToH gets a few hits in on the scouts. Liereyy, of course, wants to wait until these are light cap, and now he's going to take the fight. And now that they're light cap, they should be able to kill these spearmen in due fashion right there. Only taking minimal losses, so still not a fight you want to take, but it's better than nothing. At the same time, though, TaToH trying to get a kill on a crossbow, but it's just scouts for him. He's not going to get the light cap upgrade. That's not really worth it at this point. Not when you have just 3. Both players will just be spamming some knights now, and monks as well, because they probably know that they are... both players are going to be spamming monks. Now, the problem with that is that Liereyy has light cap on the field. Now, they might be weak, and they might not be able to snipe a whole lot of monks, but... no, villagers, but think about it. When you're trying to go monks and your opponent has light cap on the field, that is a problem. That's a problem because, well, the monks will get sniped fast by the light cap. Now, this is a like from TaToH. He knows that there's a relic there, so he's keeping his scout there because scout cavalry can also snipe monks. And they do have a bonus against it. Not as much as light cap, though. Light cap have, if you can click, let's see, they have 10 bonus damage. Scout only 6. So, it's not that big of a difference, but because monks will still die to both of those, but still, as that has also deleted the walls around his gold, so you better get up some form of TC or something over here to protect this part of the gold, or make a whole lot of military. I mean, he's technically all in right now. His Liereyy, we still has a stone to add town centers here as soon as he can afford it, although he's getting some knights out as well. 7 knights for him. Like sniping a monk over here that TaToH had sent out to try to get the relic that was right next to his base. Liereyy now knows that, and he's going to be posted there. Knows that, well, if you want to get that relic, you'll have to go through me. Now, Khmer do have a problem here. They make knights. Burgundians make cavalier. And because Burgundians do not have bloodlines, that ends up being basically a knight with a +2 attack. That's kind of what a cavalier is, if you think about it. So, you cannot really take straight up fights as Khmer. You can, because you're always going to be outclassed. There's no way to get. There's no way to get back into that. Now, having the attack advantage and the through your armor upgrades, through your attack upgrades, now that might help, right? That might help you a lot. But still, in the end, if TaToH gets full cavalry upgrades this age, he will have 2 more attack than Liereyy in any case. So Liereyy will have to either outmaster. There's a hole in the wood line. Hole in the wood line. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, that's not good. Liereyy losing a bunch of villagers there. That was not what he expected, I'm sure. And that's a problem as well. Oh yeah, that was really good for TaToH, getting a bunch of Vil snipes there. And he is like all over Liereyy right now, on the left, on the right. But Liereyy now going for the counter attack, attacking TaToH on the gold here. TaToH has been pushed off of it. And like I said, it's not a safe gold. It really isn't. That tower doesn't protect you from the other side. As yeah, Liereyy, he's at the same time losing villages on the other wood line as well. 2 holes on your wood line. And Liereyy has lost 12 villagers already. 12 villagers. That's crazy. As villager almost opening the gate there. Yeah, the tower is going to go down. That's a problem for TaToH. He has sniped a whole bunch of villagers. But he doesn't quite have the army here, right? He doesn't quite have the army here to deal with this right now. He has a lot of cavalier on the field. They're just scattered around, and he doesn't have gold. He doesn't have gold to make more cavalier. It's 70 knights for Liereyy. He also has 13 crossbows, which will definitely help in this fight. Ooh, is TaToH does Liereyy get a conversion? No, does not get a conversion with Brizzy bringing in a relic, but that's not going to be brought in for the time being. Yeah, I think TaToH needs to just gather all his forces here and take a fight. Like, you need to fight. You need to kill this as soon as you can, because you don't have gold. He needs gold right now. Getting his attack upgrade as well, so these cavalier are pretty strong, but they lack the armor upgrade, which is kind of interesting that we have not gone for the armor upgrade in a fight with crossbows. Crossbows that can now kill your cavalier in 30 shot instead of 40, which means that these crossbows only need 2 shots to down, well, actually 2.1 shots to down a cavalier. If it's 15 crossbows, it's exactly 2. TaToH bringing in his cavalier from the right side. It's now coming in from the left side as well, trying to get in on the crossbows. That's the important part. If you can get the crossbows, that is a very important part. So many cavalier who's taking this fight better, but it looks like TaToH is losing so many cavalier numbers. I think getting that attack upgrade instead of the armor upgrade was a big mistake. Big mistake. I think he needed that armor upgrade more so than the attack upgrade, because he already has more attack. You need armor. You need armor against the crossbows, and now a lot of cavalry have gone down, and Liereyy has the better numbers. Now, the crossbows have gone down as well, so at least TaToH has not completely lost this fight here. This is true. He can at least maybe go back to gold. Well, actually, he's going to go outside the gold here. Oh, please. That is risky, and Liereyy already finding that with some knights is going to raid that. I don't think you can take gold here safely. There's just no way. There's just no way. You have to TC that. It's something. You have to TC this. There's no way that Liereyy is going to let you take gold here. He recognizes too, all your gold spots are horrible. I'm going to be raiding them constantly. And TaToH has been selling a whole lot of stuff. He is selling wood as well, just to desperately try to get some gold out, so he can actually spam some knights. How you doing, Javier? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. As we got some monk wars now between TaToH and Liereyy, both going for conversions, both getting conversions as well. As you can see, Liereyy got a few conversions as well, but he still has the better numbers. Another conversion coming in for TaToH. Monks trying to heal a little bit, but of course conversions are what matters. It's 14 knights versus 12 cavalier. I mean, this is a fight that TaToH might be able to win. I mean, look at that HP, right? Liereyy has had a similar number of knights, but TaToH has the better HP. Has a few more knights as well. So in the end, as the monks for Liereyy go down, Liereyy still spamming in some knights here, but I think that is a lost fight for him. And for the first time, TaToH might be able to breathe a sigh of relief. And now Liereyy is behind in military count and in Vil count. Like before, Liereyy had a lot of military, but he took a few losses there in the wood lines that were that had holes in them. As you can see, 13 villagers lost for him. And that is the big difference there between TaToH and Liereyy. Both of them are 1TC, but TaToH has kept his villagers alive, most of them at least. I mean, he hasn't lost as many as Liereyy has, as TaToH is also going to go to stone now. Hopefully to get the town center up on, say, this goal, which is very important. I think this is a point where TaToH, if he wants to add villages, this is probably the time to do it. He'll know that as well, as these Cavaliers chase down some knights in the back of the map. No, another hole, Liereyy. He fixes this hole on the right, and there's another hole on the left. This woodline has been the bane of Liereyy. I'm telling you, has been the bane of Liereyy. Just because of the freaking hills, it's impossible to see. Well, I mean that hole's pretty visible actually, but I don't know how to say it, but Liereyy is behind in this game now. I mean, that's the thing with Khmer, that it's all about spamming, and if you go all in knights, then you better get your advantage. But Burgundians, the longer the game goes here, might be better than Khmer. This Cavalier still taking fights under TC. Still no second armor upgrade. I'm pretty sure at this point that TaToH's probably forgotten it, because he got attacked first, so I don't think he would get that if he thought he had the armor upgrade. So these knights are actually taking a whole lot of damage. They are basically knights with extra attack. I know they look like Cavalier. They are Cavalier, but, you know, they just... Burgundians. And Liereyy says GG, and the first game goes to TaToH. I think a surprise to well, at least Mem, because I just heard him say that he thought that Liereyy was the definitive favorite, or so did Riley actually. But like I said, it's not just about speed, it's also about strategy. And I don't know, man. Khmer versus Burgundians might be a better matchup for Burgundians, because they do have the better cavalry throughout most of that mid game. Khmer, of course, can be very dangerous with their spam, but Liereyy decided to not drop DCs. As you can see, still 200 stone. He never sold it either. He just, you know, he never went to extra town centers, never tried to get a Vil lead, and then the problem is he fell behind in the Vil count. Now, he did get a whole lot of kills at the same time. We kind of missed that, but I think Liereyy was raiding the golds from TaToH. And as you can see, the eco KD is actually even out, so it's not like it wasn't an even game. But the problem is, Liereyy has only 4 knights on the field. He's running out of gold over here as well. That means he has to expand to either one of these golds. No town center is up yet, and that's why he called it GG. No control over the map, no army whatsoever anymore, and that's a problem. That is a problem. And something, I wonder if it would have been different if Liereyy had dropped the barracks and had just gone for some spearmen and then into pikemen. You know, Khmer, that's something that Khmer can do really well, because they have that food, right? You know, you boom, you know, something. I don't know, like, your opponent was all in Cavalier. If you can defend successfully against that, then maybe you can get away with a boom. Although that is, you know, the fact that Liereyy hadn't walled at all, that is really risky. You know, so I understand his strategy choice as well. The problem is, your all-in is not going to be as strong as the Burgundian all-in, because the knights are worse. And also TaToH taking a few good fights there. As a result, way better KD there. That's also villagers, but that's also killing knights. Like crossbows, knights. That surround there was exactly the fight he needed. Even though it looked like it was kind of bad there for a second, but he still had some knights remaining. But it was primarily Liereyy who wasn't able to get his numbers back up. Did better with the conversions though, so at least that's the high APM right there. More resources collected for the Burgundian player, like their economy is usually better, although the food economy, wow, it's really close between the two, and that means that the Khmer economy was just as good basically as the Burgundian economy. Even though Liereyy did have more villagers for a while there, but yeah, TaToH got ahead there because he killed a whole bunch of vills there. Oh yeah, but it's not peak Liereyy APM just yet. Only 150 peak, or what's that, 220? Oh, that's a low peak, please. That we've seen him do better. I am just kidding, of course. Jeez, it's still 220 actions per minute. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, we don't have too much time here to dilly dally, because we were a bit behind, I think. But yeah, it is 0-1 for TaToH. Awesome. So we will go to game 2, I presume. Let me check the Discord and see if that link is already there. Oh, they already did a remake. Wow. Okay, good. That's some delay for them. That means that we can catch up. So let's get right into the second game. I'll show the draft after this one if we have some time. If we hopefully catch up. But yeah, we do have to catch up, because I don't want to fall too far behind. As Jesus Christ, the colors have been changed. Hey. What are these colors? And why is TaToH going gray? I swear to God. It's so hard to see. Okay, let's not speed up throughout the entire game. Let's fix the colors first. TaToH will be blue. Liereyy will be green, because we've been doing that. There we go, very good. You don't have the choice. You thought you had agency choosing your own colors, but then there comes the darn caster, just changes your colors right back. Yep, that's just the way it goes. Any case, welcome to the second game between Liereyy and TaToH. Surprisingly to everyone, TaToH just beating Liereyy quite handily in the last game. But that doesn't, of course, mean it's the end of this set. This is going to be an amazing series anyways, because I can't imagine that Lierey's just going to let TaToH beat him 3-0. That would be a big upset, honestly. It really would be. Not because I don't think TaToH can beat Liereyy, it's because I don't think any pro at this level, you know, the fact that everyone's so close nowadays, should be able to beat another pro 3-0, right? Like, that should not be, like, especially when you get into the top 8 of players, that should not be a common sight. It doesn't mean that it can't happen, but I'm not expecting it, right? So I'm expecting Liereyy to at least take a few games over TaToH, if not just win. So we'll see. We'll see. In any case, let's see what the players have gone for. We got Huns for Liereyy, and we got, oh boy, Indians for TaToH. Ay, ay, ay. And I'm saying ay, ay, ay because, well, I have railed about this in the last few weeks as well. You know, that Huns are a strong civ, but they have some poor matchups with other civilizations, and Indians is kind of one of them. Not as bad as Berbers. Berbers are a full counter to what Huns can do, but what Liereyy can do in this match is very limited, right? You can't really go infantry. That's not something that Huns are particularly good at. Your siege isn't the best either, so no onagers, no heavy scorpions, no things that are quite handy against camels actually, or against archers, something like that. And anytime you go knights, you're gonna be up against camels. Like Liereyy will know it will be camels. Like Indians cannot make anything but camels. That's you know, they don't get knights. So no camels for them. Which means that if Liereyy goes for knights, he basically gets into the same situation as he did last game. So I can't imagine that he's going to go knights here. That unless he gets a big advantage, he might start spamming some knights early on to maybe do some damage to TaToH if he gets to castle faster, right? But what's up, Nico? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. What was I saying? Man. Whoops, I was distracted by chat now. Whoops. What was I saying? Oh yeah, guy, right. If he gets up to Castlate first, right, Liereyy has a chance to go to Cavalry Archers. Oh no, man, don't worry about it. Don't worry. That's all on me. That's just because I'm happy to see people. You know. And then I lose my train of thought. Also, sometimes I feel bad, you know, because you guys show up and it's like, what's up? And then I immediately, anyways, and then go back into what I'm talking about, you know, it's almost like I don't want to, like, dismiss your arrival like it's something that's not important or anything like that. That's a thing, too. Yes, this Liereyy brings in his second Rhino, very nice. Very nice, I don't think either player is one of those lamer boys here. I think most of them are probably going to be using their APM to push in some deer on Zebra. Although Liereyy is coming forward here. Now this is what I'm expecting, right? Because it's probably going to be scouts from both players. Probably, in all likelihood. I mean, this is what Indians and Huns usually open with. Both can switch into archers. That is pretty common as well. Wouldn't surprise me if both Liereyy and TaToH end up by using crossbows anyways. But Liereyy has the potential to go for cavalry archers. So does TaToH, but TaToH doesn't have the need to go for cavalry archers here necessarily. Liereyy kind of has to. He kind of has to. Because you're not gonna win this with just knights. You're not gonna win this with just knights unless you bring out some pikemen as well to compensate. You gotta do something. As Liereyy actually is gonna go for a drush now. Ooh, one of his most favorite strategies actually, drush into archers. Wouldn't surprise me if that is the thing we're gonna go for here. As yeah, Liereyy bringing out a villager to mine 10 gold, and that will allow you to get loom as well. Something you really need. TaToH on the other hand, he's walling up a lot. Is he going man-at-arm? Well, he hasn't clicked up. He hasn't just clicked up yet, so I don't think that it's going to be man-at-arm. Like if you go man-at-arms, like usually you click up and then you make the militia, right? But this is probably a drush into archers. That's how I tell the difference at least. Like if they've clicked up, then it's men-at-arms. If they haven't clicked up, then it's probably a drush. Although it's a quite late drush. That's true. That's true. As well, TaToH has spotted that. Shouldn't be too surprised by that either. I mean, it's Liereyy. Drush into archers is one of his favorite strategies. Like, I remember in like, what was it? Was it another King of the Desert, or was it Hidden Cup? Someone kept going and he drush into archers. Just every time. Drush into archers. Just Liereyy things, man. He loves to go drush into archers. It's... If he can just delay his opponent a little bit so he can get his archers out, he will be very happy with that. And the thing is, he's not walled at all. I hope he might wall a little bit. I mean, I know your hunts, it's blasphemy, but in this matchup, you don't want to have camels running through your base here. Especially because you won't really have... If you don't have cavalry archers out, there won't be anything to deal with the camels. Now, there is some delay here. TaToH is forced to fight with his villagers as well, trying to get some shots in on the militia. Does get some, land some shots with the TC. Scout get pretty weak as well, but there's a bit of delay going on here. I guess you can see the villager idle time pretty much 50% now. That's good. That will just get worse now. Now, Liereyy might still upgrade his units to men-at-arms. I mean, his militia are still almost full HP here, so that might almost be worth it if you want to. It's a bit of investment. An investment, although, you know, the fact is you can't really break into a wood line right now. I'm not sure if Lierey's still going to go... Oh, no, never mind. I guess you were right after all, Javier. Is it because you can see the future? Is that why? Or did you just know? Nah, just kidding. I mean, like, if you have this much HP left on your drush, then there's no reason not to get men-at-arms. You know, the longer you can keep this alive, the longer you can delay. You know, and TaToH is getting delayed significantly here. If you look at the worker efficiency, it's like 7% less. That is significant. Well, actually it is. In the early game, your worker efficiency until farms come out should be near 100%. You know, lumber camps should be really efficient still because they're close to the wood line. Taking food under the TC should be efficient as well. So it's actually a big deal to have less than like 80% here. Although now there's farms, so that number should drop anyways. Scouts, of course, for TaToH. That was not a surprise to me. I figured as much. But yeah, it's going to be archers for Liereyy, and he is making spearmen this time around. So that's good for him. As TaToH is taking a fight, fighting with villagers as well. The men-at-arms will go down. I don't think they're going to get a kill here. Gets a scout. Nice. Gets a scout, that is good. Gets 2 scouts. Okay, very good. That's nice. Look at that. This is the risk right there of fighting men-at-arms with scouts. Look, you had 4 scouts full HP, now you have 2 scouts, and one of them is kind of dead. So basically, this is together is 1 scout. And that is the risk of fighting men-at-arms with your scouts. You basically neutralize your own scout rush, and you have to make way more scouts now in order to take more fights. And Liereyy, he's already sending one of his little Liereyy armies forward, a few spearmen to push away the scouts, and some archers with fletching, at least in 25 seconds. And TaToH, oh, he just misses them too. He just misses them too. And Lierey's gonna arrive right on this wall spot here. He's gonna arrive right on the wall spot. That's not wall either. He's gonna run right through that. Yep, well, not flood just yet. This is like a really small flood, isn't it? If you can't, I mean, if you can't, I think TaToH can get good to deal with this. Although, you know, he was going to build these walls. Nice gate there to drive this army into your TC. But of course, these archers will be able to break through if they want to. Liereyy at the same time also walling. TaToH losing probably his weak scout on the front there. Same time, the archers get through, and Liereyy with archers can get kills here. 1 villager going down, first eco KD of the game. Spearmen can be dealt with the the skirmishers, of course, and the villagers. Idale, huh? TaToH is love, TaToH is life, lol. I must say, like of all the professional players, I find myself watching TaToH the least for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but so I've been like downloading some of his games as well, like that game series that Dowd and TaToH played the other day. It was awesome, very good. TaToH is gonna get his walls up just to keep himself safe, but he did lose a villager there, so I would consider him on the back foot there, on the back foot a little bit. As Liereyy is being very, very scary in the front here with archers. Now, luckily for TaToH, his goal is the safety behind these walls. Like, a lot of his base is walled now. Liereyy has a way... his base is way more cramped here. But he has more food right now. Looks like he will be able to click up maybe before TaToH does. They have a similar number of farms, but Liereyy is the one making a unit that doesn't cost food. So... Oh, but they spawned, man. They spawned. These archers can sit behind this, and there's no way to engage with your scouts against this if you wanted to. I mean, it's not like TaToH has enough scouts to engage against this. As Liereyy gets a vill kill, does not get a vill kill. Imagine this. You could just never kill the archers there. Ever. Unless you use skirmishers, of course. Maybe he will not be the ranked #1 player, but he is the most lovely one. Hey, how you doing, Rock Knuckles, by the way? Did I say hi to you? I don't think I did. Oh, it's because your name is green. I thought you were Nico. Whoops. How you doing, man? How you doing? Good to see you. And, I mean, I wouldn't be, I mean, I don't mind, of course, I don't think we should just say that the only player we're gonna love here as TaToH massacres, absolutely massacres Lierey's archers here. It's not like we can only love the #1 player, right? I mean, I totally agree with that. And you know, every different player has a different playstyle, and you can have a favorite because of that. You know, like for example, like I always found myself attracted to Hera's playstyle a lot, like how he played. It's very defensive. That's kind of how I often play as well, with some random aggression in there. Working on my weekend shift, watching the best Dutch streamer ever. Wait, thanks, man. I mean, although I don't think I would get a whole lot of views streaming in Dutch though. There's not a whole lot of Dutch people. And then you know, like think about it, only 17 million people in total that might speak Dutch. And you know, how many are gonna watch Age of Empires? I think that's quite limited. Although there is some Dutch players out there as well, but no high level, you know, like high level players. Gonna take a pass on that. No, you don't want to speak Dutch. Wil je geen Nederlands spreken? Je verstaat me nu niet? Okay, what I just said, you don't want to speak Dutch. You don't understand me now. Yeah, it's German is easier than Dutch. Which is kind of weird, because German is, in my opinion, more difficult than Dutch. But I guess that's just because I learned Dutch as my mother's language, you know. So, I guess so. But yeah, it's a funny language. I know it has more exceptions than rules. Really, that's what makes it so difficult. And you just never find out about that until you try to teach your language to someone else. Like I had to teach at university. Like we had some international students that had to learn a bit of Dutch because, well, that was part of the curriculum for them. And I had one of my housemates he was from Slovakia. I always mixed the two up there. He had to learn Dutch, and he asked for my help. And I swear to God, I have never struggled so hard to teach someone something, and not because he was stupid or anything. It's because Dutch is impossible, just impossible. It's every time it's like, okay, so is this the rule? And I'm like, yes, but there's also this, and this, which doesn't conform to the rule. You have to just kind of memorize that. As the crossbows for Liereyy show up at TaToH's base just before he finishes his siege workshop. Liereyy trying to drop a town center on the other side of his wood line though, but there's some skirmishes there to be very annoying. One knight coming out now for Liereyy, I like that. He is making a few knights, but for now sticking with crossbows. I think that is the wise choice. I don't think you want to allow your opponent to just counter you with camels here, as this knight will make nice work of these skirmishes there. Very nice. Town center will go up. I like that. And Liereyy has crossbows in TaToH's base, and TaToH is not gonna be happy about this one. I don't think anyone is happy when Liereyy has 20 crossbows in your base. Well, it's actually 14, but yeah, you're not gonna be happy. TaToH trying to wall this a little bit out, stopping Liereyy from going this way, and also driving him into the mangonel, which Liereyy does see. Liereyy also bringing a knight here as well, so he could potentially snipe this mangonel if it goes too far away from the DC. Camel number's not quite there to take this fight, so Liereyy, you know, he's idling a lot of TaToH's economy right now. Mangonel shot. Okay, Liereyy dodging there, confident, not even splitting, just walking away, you know, just go poof. Thug life. As he's gonna go to the back of this wood line. You know, he knows he probably can't escape from this base anymore. Like Liereyy has been walled out here, so this army is probably going to die. The question is, how much value are you gonna get from it? That's the question. One thing, you do not want to take the mangonel shot here. You definitely do not. The gold for TaToH is right there. This is a critical moment for him. He has to take the fight. Ooh, nice shot there from TaToH. Gets in with the mangonel. That is good. That shot connected. Now these camels do have +2 plus that extra pierce armor. Another shot there from TaToH. He's been doing very well with the attack grounds. And Liereyy, you know he wants to snipe this mangonel, but the camels are constantly in front of this. No ballistics yet for Liereyy, so he can't easily kill these camels. And again, a shot that lands there for TaToH. Mangonel's still alive, it's still on half HP, and now Liereyy is about to lose his archers as TaToH recognizes, well, I can just run in here and kill the crossbows now. And oh, nice shot there as well. Maybe Liereyy wasn't microing that anymore, but still. some juicy crossbow shots, and that is not a whole lot of value. Didn't get a whole lot of eco kills with that, so I don't think that is that wasn't the best for Liereyy, that's for sure. He wasn't able to do a lot of damage. So this right there, that is how you defend against Liereyy crossbows in the back of your base. Right there, you make a mangonel, you just keep trying to get shots in. He will make mistakes at some point, because think about it, the players you're going to encounter are going to have less APM than Liereyy. I think that's safe to say. Safe to say. So they're probably going to make mistakes much quicker than Liereyy would in that situation. So, oh, but on the woodline though, crossbows getting some kills there as the knights are getting massacred by... don't right click the stable! The knights are going to go down. Ay, 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 ay. That wasn't the best for Liereyy. That was still an expensive army. Yeah, he has to get his crossbow numbers up. That's very important, because he needs to be able to kill these camels now. As villagers are coming forward, probably for a siege workshop on a hill. One survives, one gets found out, but now TaToH will be sus of that. He will know. He will be like, wait a minute, what are those villagers doing forward? So Liereyy drops a town center on the back of his wood line, also on this goal. I like that. But camels are making their way that way, and it's only 3 villagers building that, so you better quick wall it in. Unless TaToH, of course, tries to get through the walls here. Okay, that's lucky for Liereyy. He's bringing his crossbows back as well to defend himself, because it is Liereyy on the defense. Once again, because TaToH is getting his mass up right now. And again, Indians get more dangerous the longer this game goes as well. You know, just think about that. I'm not sure. Huns, I mean, they shine in castellates, but the longer this game goes, the more options Indians get available to them. And Imperial Camel is definitely a beastly unit to deal with, honestly, for the Indian player. So Liereyy, I mean, he might start switching into cavalry archers. If he can get a nice ball of cavalry archers, right, that could be really good. He's also booming right now, right? On 3 town centers, TaToH only on 2. No, okay, he has added the 3rd town center as well. So we'll get to that number as well. The Vilcan right now is 61 to 66 because Liereyy got to his town centers first, basically. So he's just he's slightly ahead in the eco there, but military-wise, it's quite even. I know the military count doesn't seem that way, but remember that these camels, one camel counts for more potential death than 1 crossbow. Now, that's always the calculation you have to make. As Liereyy deletes a bit of his palisade wall so that he can get a siege workshop up here to defend his gold. That is pretty smart, actually. You know, a building that will go down less quickly, and also one that can make scorpions. But he's probably going to be scorpions and mangonels that you're going to see here. For some reason, scorpions do quite well against camels. They might have bonus damage or something. Honestly, let's check, actually. We can actually just check over here. We need just one. Oh no, it was war elephant. Right. I did not know that, but yeah, apparently war elephants take extra damage from scorpions. That would be 18 attack. That's pretty beastly, actually. Not too bad, not too bad. That's only Persian war elephants, though, because the others are called battle elephants, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. As we have Imperial Age now from Liereyy, macroing his way up to the next stage there, and TaToH making a more food-intensive unit is not going to get there. And we know how dangerous Liereyy is with fast imp crossbows. I mean, I think that the Huns do get Arbalest. Do they? Or do they not? Oh boy, I hope they get Arbalest, because if they don't get Arbalest, that's a problem. I think they do, but they lack the final armor upgrade here. That's not a problem. That's okay. We also get pikemen now. I like that. Just adding a few pikemen as a buffer against these camels is a really good choice there. There, he's trying to keep himself safe. He just needs to wait 2 minutes here. If he can keep all these armies out for 2 minutes, he should be in a good spot. As TaToH siege slowly moving forward here. Camels meeting a massive crossbows, not something they want to fight. No ballistics yet for Liereyy, by the way. That's an upgrade he should probably get as well. You know, it's a pretty important upgrade. As there comes the siege, and a farmer biting the dust right there. That was pretty violent. As, ooh, mangonel shot. TaToH trying to snipe the mangonel. Will get the mangonel. Mangonel goes down. Doesn't get a shell on the crossbows. Nice micro there by TaToH to move all the siege out of the way, because that would have been devastating. Look how clumped up that is. One shot in the middle, boom. All of that is dead. As TaToH recognizing probably... Okay, he probably recognized here, one, Lierey's score is way lower than mine now. You know, it was close, suddenly it's way lower, right? That's one indication. The other one, Lierey's just keeping his army at home. There can only be one reason for that. He doesn't want to lose his army. He wants to keep control over it. And that tells you, that's probably Imp. And Liereyy is sending his crossbows, or at least half of them, is sending them forward. It's going to be Arbalest sooner rather than later. TaToH, fourth DC now, will be able to boom with Indians, obviously, but it's putting a lot of pressure on Liereyy and also taking out the blacksmith. Now Liereyy can't get Bracer. Nerfed. Yeah, big nerf right there. That's kind of funny. As TaToH, he's buying stone for a castle. He wants to get his castle up because he knows that those crossbows, soon to be Arbalest, if they get that at least, will be arriving at his base. As Liereyy is also making some cavalry archers now, which I think is the better unit here, the best unit he can go for, and I think he knows that as well. As TaToH is completely stonewalled the side, and now Liereyy, he won't be able to break in here quite quickly. The houses have 9 pierce armor, that takes forever. As TaToH has plenty of time to wall through here, drop a castle on the front, and I think TaToH is fine. He's fine. He's gonna stonewall this, or at least he's gonna try. No Arbalest yet for Liereyy. Okay, so no Arbalest for Huns then. Because if Liereyy had Arbalest, he would have gotten it by now. Yeah, wait, hang on. Let me actually check that just to make sure. Because now I'm curious. Let's see. Did I get Arbalest? Can't see that here. No Arbalest for Huns. Okay, I just wanted to make sure about that. But because otherwise he would definitely have gotten Arbalest. And how are you doing, Ramses? Good to see you, man. Welcome. As yeah, Lierey's putting on a lot of pressure right now. It's getting Halberdier. I like that. I like this a lot because the Indian player cannot just stick with cavalry now. If you get a whole lot of Halberdier on the field. And I also like the fact that we're going to have a less mobile army, you know, the Halberdiers, and we're going to have cavalry archers. Cavalry archers which could do well. Oh, good. Glad to hear that, man. Which could do well, right, against camels, because I mean at least they can run away from them in theory, but they're not heavy yet, not heavy cavalry archers yet, and also they're not in large numbers. And that's 2 cavalry archers down already, and now you're still down to 1. It's gonna take a while before those numbers go up. As now a castle, yeah, that protects the front of TaToH's base quite well. There's stone walls everywhere, and Lierey's just gonna have a hard time pushing in here, and that is a problem because the Indian economy is good, it's really good. I mean the Vilcons are even, but and Lierey's base isn't as strong as TaToH's base. It's not as fully walled as TaToH's base as well. But he does have Halberdiers, right? And this is the problem for TaToH. Like, as soon as the Halberdier numbers start to rise, as Liereyy is dropping a castle on the side to protect his base a little bit. It's not from that side that the pressure is coming in, though. It's from this side. Halberdier is being, rallied to defend the town center there. TaToH runs in to get some kills, but as a result, now he doesn't really see the Halberdiers as clearly. Yeah, losing some camels there, but kind of being goaded to go in here. Like, there were a lot of villagers, right, that TaToH hoped to snipe, but then the Halberdiers popped out and boom, there they are. Crossbows are safe because of the Halberdiers, but yeah, they can't break through. They just can't break through right now. It's going to take forever to get this house down. Although Halberdiers should help you there, right? Melee units should do better than ranged units at that one. Some upgrades coming in as well for cavalry archers. The numbers are slowly growing, but it's going to take a while to get your ball up there. But if you do get your mass up, that of course will be much better. Now, we got Arson as well, which will give these Halberdiers a better attack bonus versus buildings, which will help you break through here a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, there's a hole! There's a hole! Oh, the Halberdiers running through here as well, but there's a lot of skirmishers on the field. A counter now from the Spanish player here. Doesn't quite have the upgrades on these skirmishers just yet, but he's getting those armor upgrades now. At the same time, I had a fight over here as, TaToH clearing up the crossbows that were down here. With some losses, I'm sure, but that's fine. Let's see. That's still cavalry archer for Liereyy. Not heavy cavalry archer just yet. It's an expensive upgrade to get after all. As Liereyy wants to break through here, but TaToH for now defending this choke point with the skirmishers. He can still get the last armor upgrade on them as well, which will completely render these crossbows defunct. Yeah, they won't be able to do anything here. And Liereyy, I mean, he's just. I mean, let's just say Liereyy played really well here. He really did. Like, Like, he definitely kept TaToH on the back foot there. I mean, he definitely lost his crossbows as well on the back of TaToH's base. That wasn't as good. But still, right? He made Huns work against Indians. But this is the moment where you kind of need to think, what are we going to do here against Indians? Unless I can get my cavalry archer numbers up, you're kind of screwed. As TaToH running out here with some villagers for some expansion, but there were some cavalry archers for the Hun player there. Yep, this is what cavalry archers are meant to do. They're meant to find villagers like this, and that is going to be some kills for the Spanish player. Lots of villagers going down. Eco KD now 23 for Liereyy, so he's definitely done more damage. As TaToH coming in on a wood line at the same time, hitting that for Liereyy. That is not a safe wood line anymore, and the Eco KD suddenly evening out. That is 16 to 23. But it's cheaper for Indians to replace their villages, as camels are raiding the back of your base now, and Liereyy is forced to deal with that with Hussars. He just doesn't have any army right here to deal with this. All the halberdier have been exterminated, and TaToH is very happy raiding the back of Lierey's base here. TaToH still in the lead here. He has the same number of villagers, but he has way more army on the field. Way more army on the field right now. And the thing is, cavalry archers get countered by these skirmishers as well. And that's the worst part, right? That's the worst part. That's the only good power unit that Huns can go for here. Unless they just spam halberdiers, but then still, you might be up against your own archers. You don't get arbalest, that's a problem. You don't get to use your paladin here because it's going to, then the Indian player will just make heavy camels. You can't even use cavalry archers very easily here because they'll just get killed by the camels or by the skirmishers here. As Liereyy ran into the camels there, took some losses. Will run away at least. Cavalry archers are faster than camels, at least in that regard, so that's good. But I mean, the numbers are slowly growing, but it's just Liereyy can't even raid this either. He just can't. Like, it's wall everywhere. Like, this is the most secure pro base I've seen in a while. Like, professional players, they rarely wall actually like this. They rarely continue to wall. They kind of wall like what Liereyy does, and then they stop walling at some point because it's not worth the time anymore. But because I'm telling you, it is worth your time. It is worth your time because Liereyy can't do any damage to TaToH unless it's villagers outside of those walls. Inside of the walls, he cannot touch. That means all those farmers right there, he can't reach them. He just can't. As he's trying to get his Hussar numbers up, halberdier number, he's making some halberdiers here and there, but he stopped making them now, so it's going to be Hussars and cavalry archers, a comp that is going to be completely countered by everything the Indian player does. Like, the Hussars, yes, counter the skirmishers, but you're never going to get near the skirmishers. You're going to have to fight the heavy camels, which will kill everything here. Everything. If they get close, it's a complete disaster. As, cavalry archers for TaToH, that is just add injury to insult. He's actually going to get the heavy cavalry upgrade before Liereyy does. Just imagine that as the castle, it will go, will it actually go up? Will it actually go up? As the camels come in from the other side as well, Liereyy desperately trying to kill the cavalry archers here, which will for now stop sniping these villagers, but he can't kill all the cavalry archers, and that castle is not going to go up. And I think Liereyy, what is he going to do? What does he do? As he's gonna lose this castle. It's a doubt castle. Doubt. How much is that? Oh, it was so close to 75%. At the same time, Liereyy losing a whole lot of mass on his other side. Has to run away with the cavalry archers now. He can't be anywhere near this. Oh, it's a doubt castle. And TaToH's like, yeah, let's just get that down. We don't need to allow you to let this up. And Liereyy, man, I mean, he played it so well, but Huns against Indians is not a matchup. If your opponent plays his cards well, if he gets the options that Indians offer, right, to deal with Huns, then there is so little that Huns can do. It's kind of like when you play tic-tac-toe with someone. If your opponent is not stupid, it should always be a tie. It's just something that you shouldn't be able to lose here. And Indians just have the tools, all the tools necessary to deal with Huns. They can counter the cavalry archers with their camels, with their skirmishers, with their own cavalry archers, right? And then there's camels running around. And Lierey's just defending as good as he can, but he can't deal with this. It's TaToH bringing all his military to the left now. And Liereyy wants to force a fight here, maybe. He wants to get this castle up on the stone so he can fortify a little bit more. But yeah, as TaToH's getting all the upgrades on his units right now that he needs. The cavalry archer numbers are actually... There's actually more cavalry archers on the field for the non-Hun player right here. Yeah, TaToH has more on the field right now, and look at the score difference as well. Liereyy gets pushed further and further in his base. Lots of his farms are idle right now. He has to expand further backward. You know, where he has stonewalled a little bit. I like this, you know, keep yourself a little bit safe. But his base is just not safe. It's just not safe whatsoever. As, ooh, skirmishers though. They will die to these hussars if there's no camels in front. There is no camels right now. Because TaToH stopped making them. So that definitely helps you. But yeah, look at that. Cavalry archers for Liereyy. The numbers just aren't there. It's only 12 on the field. And TaToH has... Yeah, he does have 39. And Liereyy says GG. And TaToH taking the second game here. I mean, this is pretty unprecedented right there. Like, again, did people expect TaToH to be able to beat Liereyy in a game? Yes. Did people expect TaToH to be able to beat Liereyy in a set? Yes. I mean, less chance, but yes. But did we expect TaToH to go 2-0 up on Liereyy here? No, I don't think anyone expected that one. You know, Liereyy in pro forma as well. It just, I mean, at least it should have been 1-1, right? But yeah, Indians versus Huns, if TaToH probably knew that as well. If I play my cards right, if I play it safe and don't allow the Hun player to get a lead on me, or at least don't allow him to get into my base continuing forward, Indians have all the options in late game, every single one of them, to deal with Huns. There's nothing that Huns can do that Indians couldn't potentially counter, or at least mimic, right? Yes, Indians don't get camel archers, so they don't have the cavalry archer killer that Berbers do, but they get their own cavalry archers that are pretty decent as well. There is absolutely nothing that Huns can do that Indians can't do or counter. And that's why it's such a difficult matchup. And you saw that, right? Liereyy, you know, he wanted to get the Imperial Age first, but I think the problem with that is that what Liereyy normally does, right? That's like one of his most dangerous strategies. It's fast imp Arbalest. But you can't do that with Huns, because they don't have Arbalest. So you saw immediately, right, that power spike that's supposed to follow that imp, it didn't happen. The crossbows were just kind of stuck out here. They couldn't get in, they couldn't break in at all, and even when they were in, they were just getting massacred by the skirmishers, because at that point, the skirmishers had enough upgrades to kill the crossbows. Huns are a difficult civ to play late game. They really are. Like, late game Huns fall off big time. They do. They just kind of like, in the castle age, it's like, it expands with all these options, and then you go to Imperial Age, and it's like, you have like 3 units you can make, and that's it. Paladins, Cavalry Archers, and I guess Tarkans, if you're lucky. Halberdiers is trash unit, that's not the best option. And Skirmishers, not really a good choice either, because you lack that final armor upgrade for them. Nor is Infantry, as you can see, so... Yeah, I mean... And again, like the first game, Liereyy, you know, was maybe a bit shaky with Khmer, like took a risk there and that didn't work out for him. And TaToH, you know, he was definitely on the back foot for a while there. But this time around, like, I never felt that TaToH was dead or anything. Except when Liereyy had a massive crossbows in TaToH's base, but then TaToH of course killed that, so, you know, he was fine. Defending with so little army too, very good. But honestly, yeah, I mean, Liereyy played really well, but there's just so little you can do against Indians if the player playing them knows how to make use of their bonuses, and that's just the problem there. You do everything well, you still can't counter it. Kitty, much better there for TaToH. Camels will absolutely shred Hussars, also will shred Cavalry Archers if they get close. TaToH is the one pushing a little bit there. Economy, a little bit better for TaToH as well. Just slightly though. Economy was actually really even. Like, both players boomed into a nice number there. But the problem is when you get fully boomed, what can Indians do? I mean, what can Huns do against Indians? And, oh, we got some Liereyy peaks right there. Man, that must feel bad though. If you look at the start of the game and then TaToH, like, literally does half as much as what Liereyy does at the start of a game. Just craziness, right? Anyways, we should probably go into the third game now, and man, this is already a scary point for Liereyy here. It is the freaking match point already. After 2 games. Who would have seen that coming? Jeez. Okay, let me get that third game going. We're like 4 minutes behind here. That's okay. That's okay. We're catching up a little bit. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Perfect. Let's get into that third game. And Liereyy, it's because he picked yellow, wanna bet? It's because Liereyy picked yellow. So he's nerfing himself. He went right back to green now. You know, because that's his pro color right there. And Alrighty, boom, there we go. Let's change the colors a little bit because we had TaToH as blue. We'll keep it that way. There we go. Welcome to the third game between Liereyy and TaToH, and well, this could be a match point right here. TaToH is, well, poised to win this series. It's going to be difficult to come back from a 2-0. And I said at the start of the series, I said, I don't want to just say Liereyy is the definitive favorite here, because I think that TaToH has a good chance with good strategy, right, to beat the speeded Liereyy. Like, TaToH knows, okay, I'm not as fast as Liereyy. Doesn't matter, I can out-strategize him. And he has, especially the last game. Picking Indians at that point was already a good choice as well. So Liereyy kind of going back to basics here, picking Vikings. So that is a Civ with Arbalest, so the fast aim potential is now definitely there. That is something that Liereyy is very dangerous with. So he's definitely going back to a bit to his roots there. And how you doing, Pashanan? Good to see you, man. Go to TaToH, yeah. I mean, he's poised to win this, man. Like, literally, he's one game away from 3-0ing Liereyy, and even if he doesn't win the tournament, that is something to be proud of right there. Definitely be proud of that. And honestly, if he wins here, he will go on to the next round, because remember, this is the winners and losers games. So whoever wins this will go on to the next to the playoffs. So this is actually a very important game to win for both players, because if Liereyy loses his game, he has to play another game in the group stage, which, I mean, shouldn't be that much of a problem for him. He's still one of the favorites to win this tournament, but I mean, he's getting challenged right now. Now, TaToH is going for Tatars, right? So we basically have cavalry archers versus Arbalest. This should be easier for Vikings. Should be easier for Vikings, but Tatars cannot be ruled out here. This is not like a matchup like last time where it seems like it's a better match for TaToH, right, with the Indians. I think that's pretty uncontroversial, honestly. You know, Indians are a better Civ than Huns, especially on Arabia. But Tatars, Vikings, Tatars are a wonky Civ to play. We saw that in Virgo Cup. I mean, you guys will definitely know that Tatars are cursed. Although this is not Pampa, so it's that doesn't count. But still, I mean, I stay with what I said last time, is that Tatars just have a pretty wonky early economy. And they definitely don't have the economy that Vikings will be able to muster as soon as they hit feudal age. As soon as you get wheelbarrow and then handguard, that's not something that the Tatars get. So they're definitely going to be behind on that count. As TaToH coming forward here, and ooh, could actually see that Rhino. No, he's going to just miss that. Oh, actually, no, he sees it now. Is he going to lame that? Don't you dare, TaToH. I don't know if TaToH is one of the lamer boys. I haven't seen him do that a whole lot this tournament, so I wouldn't think so. As TaToH is actually stealing some goats, actually. So, yeah, those goats gotta be Lierey's. Otherwise, there's no reason to send him that far away on the map. Oh, but he could lame a villager. That villager does not have loom. Let's see what your micro is like, Liereyy, because there is a scout right now. Yep, TaToH seeing the boar. He's gonna sit in front of... Oh, he missed! He missed! See what he was going to do? He was going to sit in front of the villager and make sure that the Rhino killed the Vil. But that didn't happen here. Because Rhinos are very aggressive. No loom on this either. So, yeah, that villager would definitely have gone down if he had been able to block it there. Because there was no scout there as well. The scout was pushing in some stuff. Or at least was scouting out here. So, almost a good villager kill there for TaToH, as we have an early barracks coming up, and that is looking like a drush right there. Something that TaToH will also be able to see now. He scouted it after all. Look at that. How important scouting is. So drush into archers for Liereyy once again. I mean, just think about how Liereyy must feel right now, right? I mean, you're for one, you have people watching you because there's webcams up you, and I would absolutely hate that if I were a player and there was 1,000 people watching me play right now. Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that one bit. You know, I don't mind lolling around on stream, right? Because you guys can't actually see me anyways. But imagine Liereyy right now. There's thousands of people watching Mem stream, watching his face. So, he must probably feel the pressure right now. He is seen as the favorite, but he's down 2 games. It wouldn't surprise me that it does not surprise me at all that this is going to be drush into archers. That is kind of... Wait, actually. He's not making more militia. Wait a second, that's not drush into archers at all. That's not a drush. See? He made a militia, but I think he reconsidered there. He reconsidered. So I think it's going to be men-at-arms after all then? Maybe... Okay, wait. So maybe, I think I know what happened here. So what happened here is that Liereyy wanted to go rush into archers. He then came forward, saw the walls, saw how TaToH was going to wall this, and now decided, okay, that's not worth it anymore. I'm not going to make those militia because I'm not going to get into TaToH's base. As you can see, TaToH's gone for the small walls. He's keeping himself safe. His gold is right in the middle of those walls. Berries are inside, well, not inside, but part of those walls, but safe nonetheless. That's why he stopped making, the things. But the militia, the scout, get in nonetheless, because TaToH, he didn't wall this side. I mean, that's skimping on the walls a little bit. So in the end, this one militia rush is still getting some value right now. Look at this. This is still some idle time. It's better than nothing, really. As Liereyy probably interested in killing the scout if he can, but that scout has feudal age. Oh, you're not there yet, and that scout is gonna go down without any glory right there. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, what's up, Zergwa? Good to see you, man. Looks like we got a lot of TaToH fans in the chat. Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me, actually. You guys probably watch TaToH stream as well. I mean, I can imagine. I bet he does Spanish streams as well. Those I can't watch. Those I can't... I mean, I can watch them, but I won't understand what's being said, obviously. Well, I'm getting there. As, yeah, Liereyy walled in his berries a little bit as well. He's walling the right side. I hope he figures out there's a hole right there when he's going to wall that, because that's going to be annoying. It always sucks when this happens. That probably means that when he walled, there was something that could not be walled over here, like maybe TaToH Scout. That's probably what was there actually. As we have an archer range going up now. And what is TaToH going to do? He's going to make his own archer. So it's going to be an archer fight. And it's the first time that both players kind of go for the same unit here, right? Well, okay, the first game was Scout v Scout, but then there was Spearman on the field as well, so that's, yeah. But it's going to be Archer v Archer, and now this is something that Liereyy could do. This is something that Liereyy could actually get a great advantage with, you know, because his micro is stronger than TaToH's. And how are you doing, Pablo? Good to see you, man. Lierey's micro is stronger than TaToH. I think that is not controversial to say. I'm not saying that TaToH's micro is bad. I mean, it's still like a god, but Liereyy is the micro god. I mean, APM is just off the charts. It's very difficult to beat Liereyy at the archer game. So if you can't beat him with speed, you have to be smarter about it. You have to be smarter with your archers. Don't take fights that Liereyy wants to fight you with. Instead, hide your archers, go around and try to get some damage in as well while defending at home. That might be the best way to beat the Liereyy here with archer play. And TaToH, I mean, I'm not sure what he's gonna do here. He might just take head-to-head fights, right? That's fine too. If he is confident in his micro abilities here, which he should be. He should be, by the way. If you're a player at this level, you should be confident in your abilities there. But you can never underestimate what Liereyy can do with small groups of army. You can never underestimate that. Nice hill control there for TaToH. Also has the reinforcement advantage as well. But yeah, Liereyy, he's also very confident about moving in here, but maybe a bit too confident. That's still skirmishers. Gets the archer though, so at least it's 1v1. But I think no other player than Liereyy would so confidently still micro around here when you have your opponent literally has 3 times the units. Yes, and he helps community a lot. He has an academy for players to help each other, and the videos he uploads to improve help a lot. That's great, and that's fine. Like that's why, you know, that's why for me, Hera is one of my favorite players because he does the same thing as well. Like he makes a lot of helpful videos, so definitely helped me a lot as well. So that's great that TaToH does that. You know, not instead of just playing and being awesome, to also give back to the community and help other players up their level as well. That's good. I respect that. I really do. As TaToH slaying a camel there. That camel's not allowed to be part of the academy, huh? Liereyy now with the similar numbers, both players also making some skirmishes now. Yeah, archers are too expensive, really. Too expensive. It's too easy to counter them. As look at that micro. Look at that. Like I said, TaToH can be confident in his micro as well. Very nice split micro there from him. And as a result, the KD is well, very even right now. Very even. Nice split there as well. A runner micro, I mean. Yeah, both players, they want to make archers, but there's so many skirmishers on the field, and both of them micro so well that it's just, archers are not going to live long here. Not going to live long, as Lierey's trying to save these archers, right? He's keeping them behind the skirmishers as good as he can, instead of having them in the front. Because you don't want to lose these. These are expensive units, these are the power units, these are the ones you want to keep alive. But TaToH knows that as well. Snipes an archer, very nice. Hey, and when I said Lierey's micro is better than TaToH, does not mean to say that TaToH's micro is not good, because look at that, it is very even here. But of course, Liereyy can do those splits as well. KD is still 9-9. Now it's 10-9. Yeah, so but Lierey's gonna push this away with the superior force now. TaToH still sending his units to this nice little hill in the middle of the map, and this hill might be very important because. Especially for Liereyy, by the way, because Liereyy, he isn't the player with the lesser mobility. This is not an uncontroversial. Blah, that's not a word. That's not a controversial fact. You're Vikings. You don't have mobility. You just don't. You can go for cavalry, and honestly, that one game, what was it again? It was Vikings versus who was it again? Someone. Oh right. It was Hera versus TaToH, right? TaToH had Vikings and he spammed light cap, and it actually put Hera on the back foot there a lot. So, what was it, NBL? Damn, I forgot. It was a set yesterday. Someone had Vikings and spammed light cap, and it was awesome, right? So, I'm not saying that the Vikings can go for light cap. It's just your strongest type of push here is slow down the middle with archers, infantry maybe now as well, a castle, siege, and then just push your main base. And that's not what the TaToHs want to do. The TaToHs want to have their mobility and run around. You know, that's something that they want to do. So it's going to be a clash of playstyles here. It's kind of ironic because the mobility one requires more micro and the slow methodical push requires less micro. It's more about pushing, you know, strong macro to get yourself the imp as fast as possible. Now, remember that Lierey's economy has had wheelbarrow this entire time. Not so much for TaToH, that's an expensive upgrade to get anyways. It will be handguard in a second as well, as Liereyy makes it to Castellates a minute before TaToH as well. As Lierey's bringing his archer numbers up a little bit. And both players are a similar army level as well. But 42 villagers for TaToH, only 39 for Liereyy. That's also because Liereyy got up to Castellates faster, right? That's about 3 villagers, I think, of difference between the two. So that's why, that's the vill difference right there. Also, like the walling from Liereyy is pretty good, you know, a nice wall. But oh, archers behind your wood line, very annoying. Very annoying indeed. But yeah, the walling is good. You have some extra golds out here. Main gold is safely behind the walls-ish, right? I mean, it's always safety with an asterisk, because nothing is safe in Age of Empires if you don't defend it. Very nice hill here for TaToH. This is an important hill. Look at that. He recognizes it well. Lierey's in Castellates. I should probably defend this hill, right? I cannot let Liereyy sit on this hill right here. And Liereyy is going right there right now as well. He knows as well, that's the hill I want to control. That's why the tower is going up right now. Now, the problem with that is that you're not going to be able to boom in the next stage here, right? Like, you know, you won't be able to drop another town center. Crossbow's in, Elite Skirm gets in as well. But yeah, Liereyy cannot stop this tower from going up. So this hill is in control for TaToH right now. Maybe even in a castle at some point might be an idea. And also stonewalled a little bit, some house walls, a house wall there, I like that. So Liereyy will not be able to do a whole lot of damage. And TaToH, again, keeping himself very safe. The odd stone wall here, if you're going to build a tower, you might as well use your stone for some stone walls as well, honestly. And Liereyy, yeah, gets a fast Castellate, but yeah, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage with this. No Elite Skirm upgrade for TaToH, but he has 18 Skirmishers, so I don't know if that's maybe worth it to get. Yeah, he's getting it right now. I was about to say that seems a bit of a waste if you're not going to get that upgrade when you have that many Skirmishers, right? Let's see. Ooh, that's a Ponto. You see it? That's a hole. That's a hole right there. That's not walled. That's a hole. Oh boy, that might be important later. That might be important later if Liereyy finds that. Luckily for him, he's not likely to go for knights, but imagine a knight in that wood line would be devastating. Liereyy micros his way up the hill. Both of them have elite skirmishers, but TaToH has a significant number more of them. As he's also trying to go for the crossbows, evening out the fight a little bit. It's 10-9 skirmishers, but yeah, of course, crossbows in the mix as well for Liereyy, which do help a little bit as well. But still, the KD slightly favoring Liereyy here. And I think that mostly was because TaToH tried to go for the crossbows, but as a result, he lost a few more skirmishes there in that fight than Liereyy did. Liereyy now confidently controlling that hill. That's very nice for him. Wood upgrade coming in for TaToH. Liereyy already had that. Yeah, if we look at the efficiency, blah blah blah, can we see that? Ooh, idle TC time. Yeah, this right here. Look at the difference. That's 10% more worker efficiency last minute. That's not because either player got raided. It's just because Lierey's economy is so much more efficient than TaToH's is, because he doesn't have wheelbarrow, right? Lierey's ahead in villages in this game. Yeah, Vikings are difficult to counter. It's just because the moment that they start breathing, I like to say that. I say it every time I'm talking about Vikings, really. As long as they're alive, they will get ahead of you until you get handguard. And even then, that will then you have to basically sacrifice a vill lead for that. You basically have to sacrifice some villager production time in order to catch up with the Vikings. So whatever you do, they will always be ahead. Even if you get wheelbarrow instantly and few lates, they will still get a vill lead. As the TaToH is going to lose these skirmishers at the same time. And Mangonel pushing away this force at the front. And this is kind of an instance in which I think, what do the TaToHs actually do against Vikings if Vikings never fall behind? Like, I mean, the big thing with the TaToHs is cavalry archers, as we have a small group of archers moving all the way around here to try to get in on Lierey's woodline again. But there's a TC there nowadays. The 2 TCs for Liereyy, only 1 for TaToH, because remember, he is technically all in here. But all in for what? Only elite skirmishers is not really the ideal situation unit you want to be making here. Has full upgrades on him for Castles though, so that's pretty good. But so does Liereyy, so it's, again, even. I mean, Liereyy won't care about this. He won't care about losing his skirmishes as well. He will just try to trade evenly here, as we have micro from both players. Look at that. Nice dodge there as well. Neither side. And remember, TaToH both players have ballistics as well. So if they're dodging shots, they're dodging ballistics, which is quite, you know, that's pretty challenging to do. Especially in heated situations like this, tournament settings. Got some skirmishers running around. The crossbows, yeah, not gonna find too much damage as well. And yeah, this is just not a game that is looking too good for TaToH. I mean, look at the score difference as well. It is, yeah, that's 700 points. No, 500 points, 600 points there between the 2 players. And it's not because TaToH's playing bad, it's just because he's the TaToH. He's gonna fall behind in economy. 61 in villagers now for Liereyy, 56 only for TaToH. And he's still on 1 TC, so that's not gonna change. He is mining stone though. He is mining stone, so at least he could get another town center up in the meantime if he wants to. Now, the TaToHs do not get arbalest, so making crossbows is okay, and you know, it's okay in Castellates, you know, for that power spike with the thumb ring as the villager goes down there for TaToH in the woodline. But really the power unit that you want to go for is cavalry archers, right? As skirmishers are getting, actually get a kill on the villagers as well, very nice. Yeah, that Scorpion, that Mangonel should be able to push this away. That's not something you want to stick around with. More skirmishers running around, and that might prompt Liereyy actually to make some cavalry. You know, and there's no reason not to make cavalry with Vikings if you're up against skirmishers. There's absolutely no reason. We have a Mangonel on the hill here. Very dangerous. You do not want to get hit by that. And again, TaToH probably also recognizes this hill is important. It's right in between the 2 players' bases. And if Liereyy is going to push this, it's probably going to be through that hill. So if he can get a castle up there, that might stall Liereyy enough for TaToH maybe to get his own economy rolling. As he gets housed. Housed. Aye. Right? That is a possibility. That is a possibility. As Liereyy is running away with his crossbows, while TaToH is he's trying to look for them, but he evidently missed that. 2 Mangonels, 3 Mangonels going forward for Liereyy now. Ooh, that's a lot of Mangonels. As TaToH, yeah, he has to be very careful here. 1 shot by the Mangonel, misses. Mangonel shot connect. Nice shot there at Liereyy, and also a very nice shot. Oh, great shots on the skirmishers. TaToH getting absolutely wrecked right now. Yeah, this game already at this point, right? It's already Lierey's to lose at this point. And it's not because TaToH is playing bad. It's because the TaToHs, man, they will fall behind. There's no cavalry archers on the field anyways. And even if there were, what are you going to raid? Like, Lierey's base is very compact so far. Now, I'm seeing the resources climb here, especially because Liereyy has already clicked up the imp. But this is just a brutal fact about Vikings. If you cannot do damage to them significantly early on, they will get ahead of you, and they will get up the imp faster than you. And this is the danger with Vikings. The fast imp potential. Liereyy is making a lot of crossbows right now. And this time around, nice shot from TaToH, by the way. I think that was a 1-for-1, though. So, very good for both players. This time around, Arbalest is on the menu. It is on the menu this time around. And we know how dangerous Liereyy is with that fast imp Arbalest play of his. And yeah, these skirmishers, even though TaToH is clicking up the imp as well, he can get the last armor upgrade on skirm. But you're defending with skirmishers. You're never able to make your own power unit. And now Liereyy has control of this hill. Yeah, and the villagers coming forward as well. The stone count is looking pretty good, and that castle is going to be for Liereyy. Yes, exactly. Both players recognizing how important that hill is, but it is Liereyy who will control it in the late game for the time being. And yeah, TaToH, I mean, he's just going to get pushed from this hill now. And this is exactly what you want to be doing with Vikings. You want to make sure your opponent can't raid you. So this is kind of nice from TaToH. Very nice. It is kind of chess right now, isn't it? It really is. It's all about positioning. It's all about positioning. This isn't about just raw power and things like that. It's all about gaining a good position on the map. And it's Liereyy who manages to get this winning position in the middle. And just like in a real chess game, you want to control the middle. Because if you're stuck in your own base with your units, you just don't have a lot of options to play with. Something that I figured out as well growing up playing chess. A nice shot there for Liereyy, as TaToH unfortunately misses the Arbalest there. Upgrades coming in for the Arbalest as well. So TaToH's trying to get kills in as well. Misses again. Nice split micro there from Liereyy. So the skirmishers have to run away. And TaToH recognizes, no way here that I'm going to get a win with this. The Tars just do not have it in them to beat Vikings in the early imp stage, right? If Tars survived that, maybe. But it's just so difficult to do. TaToH knew even if he goes to imp, he's just going to be defending with skirmishers there. So he calls to GG, and Liereyy, dodging a bullet there, brings it to 2-1, but he's still not out of the woods yet. If he really wants a reverse sweep, he's better start sweeping big time now, because TaToH is looking to win this. He's looking strong as well. But nicely played by Liereyy, and again, a masterclass in how you play Vikings, by the way. Masterclass. And even though they don't have Thumb Ring anymore, that doesn't mean that Fast Imp Arbalest isn't a potential anymore, especially in this matchup. You don't need to be going for Berserks here, although, you know, feel free to make them. Feel free to make them. Yeah, both players recognize what Vikings want to do is push through the middle. You know, you don't want to have to go all the way around and push from the side. That's not ideal, right? It's going to be a push through the middle. So that means that you need to find whatever position in the middle is most important, and that's about this hill. This hill. And both players, they consistently kept sending their military here. They knew it was going to be about this hill later on. But Liereyy, unfortunately for TaToH, he moved off of that hill, lost the fight over here. Liereyy could push that back with momentum, and that was right at the moment that he had to stone for a castle and was going up to imp. Controlled that hill, and that's just impossible to push back at this point. It would have gotten worse from here on out. Yeah, you don't actually need that much economy to do this either. 80 villagers only for Liereyy. That's it. That's all he needs. We'll quickly look at the statistics. KD a lot better for Liereyy now, especially at the end. Definitely getting a bunch of kills. Better economy should be, significantly so actually. More resources of everything collected. Faster uptimes as well. More villagers. I mean, this is just your standard Viking advantage over the Tars. And that's what I'm saying. The Tars is a difficult civ to play. In theory, they can have good matchups, but they're not as well-rounded as most civs are. And you kind of need to be well-rounded if you want to beat the Vikings. Anyways, we're going to go to a game 4, and we are only 1 minute behind now. Nice. That was very recent, so we're catching up, actually. Great stuff. So, but still, it's still a match point. It's still a match point. If TaToH wins the next game, he will still beat Liereyy in his best of 5. But Liereyy, of course, has. I mean, if any player can bring it back, we're thinking a player like Viper, we're thinking a player like Hera, we're thinking a player like Liereyy. So TaToH is not out of the woods yet. He has to win this next match. So let's see what that matchup is going to be. And I swear to God, I will show you the draft after this one, if there is still a game. You know, I haven't really been able to show you the draft because it's just, we've been going at a breakneck pace, man. And I was kind of delayed starting up. So here we go. Alrighty. Welcome to the 4th game between TaToH and Liereyy, which is already becoming a legendary set right now. It's 2-1 in favor for TaToH. He can win this game if he wins the set. I mean, if he finishes off Liereyy in this game. But Liereyy, he is looking to position himself as the comeback kid. To reverse sweep TaToH and maybe bring it back 3-2. That is still a possibility because he did win the last game, but. Let's see what we have. What civilizations we have here. We got Chinese for Liereyy. Ooh, another civ with archer potential, but also that has camels available. Very nice for them. TaToH, though, going for Franks, one of the strongest 1v1 Arabia civs, not because they have a lot of options, because they have a lot of, you know, just strategic diversity. It's mostly because the one thing that everyone knows how to do with Franks, the cavalry play, is just so freaking strong. You know, the civ is designed to go cavalry. It really is. Doesn't mean you can't go crossbow and castlade. That's a possibility as well. But Imperial Age is all about cavalry. Cavalry and maybe infantry a little bit. That's not the worst. You can at least make some halberdier with full upgrades. Very nice. Which actually sometimes is the best way to open with Franks, you know? What, 25k spoils of war away from playing 2v2 ranked. Yep, right? Oh man. Wait, what was I saying again? Oh, right. I was saying that sometimes it's best to open with halberdiers and imp with Franks. If your opponent is going to make a whole lot of cavalry and is ahead of you, sometimes just opening with the counter unit is nice and you kill their units and then you make paladin. I've seen Hera do it that one game against, who was it? That was Dogao. Yes. Yeah, he played a game against Dogao. He was Franks, and then he went Pikeman, and I was like, why are we going Pikeman? And he went to Imp, and he got help with it. I was like, but Paladin. And Dogao was like, well, I need to counter my own cavalry, right? So he's making a whole lot of cavalier, and Hera just kept killing them with halberdiers, and then, you know, Dogao was like, okay, I'm Tatars, I should probably go for cavalry archers, right? So then he switched into cavalry archers, and Hera's like, okay, that's what I was waiting for, and yeah, in that critical moment, he brought out his paladins, and then suddenly there were no cavalier anymore, and there were not enough cavalry archers to deal with the paladins. It's hey, Franks have some options there, definitely not to be underestimated. In any case, let's have a look at the maps here. We got a back gold for Liereyy, we got a back berries for Liereyy, so the base looking pretty good. Another gold that's in the back, that's good, but it is very open. Look at that, 2 wood lines, only 2. That sucks if you're Chinese, by the way. Like think about it. You need to keep your early eco safe. You need to keep it safe. It's just not safe, right? I mean, it's not stable at that point. You know, because you're always kind of, you know, you're catching up with the food count, trying to get your vil count up, and also, you know, Chinese real power lies in the later game when they get all their options, when all their technologies are cheaper, and you have saved a whole lot of resources, and you can just counter whatever your opponent does. That's the power of Chinese. Not so much early game. That's not really their biggest strength, right? Although it's not like they're bad or anything then. But Frank's early game is exceptional, right? Frank's, you know, they can deal with an open map like this, but TaToH's map is horrendous. I mean, it could have been worse, right? This gold is in the back, next to a wood line, so at least you can wall, you know, at least you can wall this. You know, you can wall between the wood lines if you want to, and then just wall the front a little bit, I guess. With wall to your TC on this side. But it's not ideal. It's definitely a case where TaToH is going to expand into the woods this way. Like, that's pretty clear. He's not going to expand this way. That's that would be unlikely. So he's going to expand with DCs. Yeah, maybe a DC on stone here, DC on the gold here. You know, you just go that way. He has some gold close by as well. There is a gold out here, which you could DC as well. But again, it's in a wasteland. It's right in the middle of nothing. So the left side of his base is completely open. But again, you're Franks. You're likely, right? Oh, I didn't make him blue, actually. Hang on. There we go. You're likely, right, to be able to play open, to be able to go for a lot of aggression, whereas Chinese will probably be a little bit less aggressive. Although, that's not really Lierey's style. He likes his aggression, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's just going to completely disregard all the conventions with Chinese and go forward and attack anyways. Well, the problem is you are probably going to be up against a lot of scouts now, although, ooh, do you see that? Do you see that? That's not scouts, that's men-at-arms right there. He is on gold too, yeah, mining camp. That is definitely men-at-arms. And men-at-arms into scouts is a interesting strategy if that is a thing even, so. Yeah, Chinese player, of course, also has to push in his hunt. This is kind of a thing with Chinese. You kind of have to do this. You kind of have to do this. Like, remember, you're still down, you're still down like 200 food, right? You have to make up for that somehow. Yes, you have extra villagers, but you still have less food, which, you know, it's not to get up the fuelates, because you have enough food around your TC to do that, but it's mostly so that when you get the fuelates, you actually have food to do stuff, like, say, going scouts, which is a very common opening with Chinese as well, because it's It's less eco-intensive, and probably Liereyy wants to counter what TaToH is doing, as TaToH is on the hill trying to do as much damage as he can to Liereyy, but Lierey's scout is in feudal age, so Liereyy of course can kill this scout now. Even though it's a Frank scout, it has more HP, but unfortunately for TaToH, more HP doesn't mean that it recuperates that HP. So TaToH will just run away here. He can't kill the scout right now. He does want to see what Liereyy is up to, right? He hasn't scouted too much, but he's seen the walls a little bit, so that should tell you. Also, remember, men-at-arms still coming in. It's not actually going to be scouts for the Franks player. Something that Liereyy does not know because he hasn't scouted TaToH yet. He's probably expecting scouts, and is now going to find out to his dismay that, oh, wait a second, that's not scouts, that is men-at-arms. And now his scout's suddenly taking a lot of damage. He wants to snipe TaToH's scout, but he's not going to be able to do it because the men-at-arms. And now suddenly you got men-at-arms in your base. Ouch. And see, this is the thing. You can never assume what your opponent is going to do. You know, I'm not saying that Liereyy did assume, but he didn't scout it. So I am absolutely 100% sure he probably didn't expect it. Although, you know, there is one thing that does give this away. Usually your score is a lot higher when you go men-at-arms, because you make military before your opponent does. You know, that usually gives it away as well. So maybe Liereyy saw it that way. I wouldn't put it beyond them. You know, pro players at this level will definitely be able to do stuff like that. Read score to know what your opponent is doing. But that's what I've learned. Like, the score rises early on. It's probably a drush or a men-at-arm rush because of that. Now Liereyy going for some Chinese scouts here. Now he has scouts, and the Frank player does not have scouts. It's kind of ironic, huh? This is kind of the opposite. I expected archers from the Chinese player. I expected scouts from the Frank player. So men-at-arms, though, have not done anything so far, except kill a spearman, and now kill a lion, and weaken a scout, but that's about it. Kind of waiting for some archers to come forward as well. It's only one archer, though, no fletching on it either, so it's not a very big threat. Lierey's trying to get the walls up, but no, the scouts get in anyways. Ay. Scout gets in, the spearman goes down. And yeah, now you have scouts in the back of your base. That's not ideal for Liereyy right here, because there's not a whole lot to protect him. One villager kind of isolated over here. That is definitely going to go down. Another villager could go down to these Chinese scouts here. But Liereyy trying to save, TaToH trying to save it. Yeah, Liereyy getting in some good damage there. Yeah, kills the villager, and the eco KD is now 1-0. But TaToH is going for a counterattack. He is trying to, he is trying to get some kills here as well. But remember, only one archer. The men-at-arms still not really doing much, and the counter is already out. Well, I mean, not the best counter. I mean, skirmishers are not as good as archers versus men-at-arms, but it will do the trick. It will do the trick. And yeah, TaToH is just not able to do a whole lot of damage right now. And that's the thing, like, just because you can go men-at-arms with Franks doesn't mean it's always the best idea to do so. In this case, you know, debating Liereyy, I'm up for it. The thing is, though, you do need to... I mean, that's something that TaToH will know, of course, is that you do sacrifice, you know, the thing that makes Franks strong. You know, all their civilization bonuses are geared toward going scouts, right? You have a lot of food for that as well, because of the forage bonus, right? So, I mean, you do give up a little bit of an advantage if you don't go scouts with Franks. That's why a lot of people keep going cavalry, because not going cavalry is crazy. I got 25k at the moment, saving for weird. No! Don't you do it, Rock Knuckles! Don't you do it! How dare you! Damn it! Why did I ever make that challenge? Or I mean that reward. I didn't honestly when I set that number, I didn't think that anyone was gonna get there really soon. You've been binge watching me too much. Damn it! You've got an addiction, sir. Oh boy. Well, I mean, at least I have my weird voice ready, so I know what I'm doing. I'm saving for that too. Why is everyone saving for the weird voice cast? That's really straining for my voice, by the way. Just saying. That's why I said 5-minute max, because otherwise it's crazy. Oh god. It's too good to miss it. Oh boy. Yeah, I guess I brought that on myself by putting that in the challenges, and I can't take it away now. That would be misleading advertising. Oh boy. Well, now shot myself in the foot there. Well, I'm glad that there is something with that you know. You always need to have something that's fun to get with points. You know, and I thought that could be funny. It was really just a joke. Anyway, Man-at-Arms still trying to get in here, but yeah, TaToH is fully walled. I kind of want it now to make bet system. Oh yeah, right, the bet system. Bet system. I forgot. Someone reminded me of that yesterday. I will set that. I will try to set that up. If not for tomorrow, then for next week. Yes, I will get that set up. Of course, it does like force me to do a lot more. Because I'm not sure how it works, but of course it's easier to have a mod do that, of course. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. As we got a lot of skirmishes now from Liereyy defending against the Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms should go down here, you know, even though it's just skirmishers with only 3 attacks, so it's not the best in the world. Archers from TaToH making their way back home because he's going up the castle and both players basically same KD, only 1 villager kill for now. So yeah, a lot of damage. This is a very close game for now. Very close game. But remember, now Franks are going to get the castle age. You know, doesn't mean, though, they're going to go for knights. Because I'm still seeing archers being created. So, we want to bet. Yeah, okay. No, I like the betting system as well, you know. TaToH used the market a lot. He has built a market, quite isolated. So, I mean, it's probably a good idea to do. We want to bet and hear the weird voice cast at the same time too. Jeez, aren't we demanding? No, that's fine, man. I will set up that betting system because I think it's a nice way to spend points as well. You know, especially because then you guys might bet 20k points and then you guys get the bet wrong and then you lose all your points and then I don't have to do a weird voice cast. Har. Just joking, obviously. Well, it's not going to be crossbows for TaToH then. He probably sees too many skirmishes. He's like, yeah, I don't want to fight that many skirmishes. I'm just going to do what Franks do best, which is knights. Something that Liereyy will know now. He's trying to deny the stable a little bit. But TaToH forcing that up for now. These are just skirmishes. They can't really kill villagers, as you can see. Villagers just... no fucks giving right here. No problem, Tim. I'll co-cast with you when I spent my spoils of war, lel. You'll co-cast with me. You know that we can arrange that sometime. We'll do a Rock Knuckles co-cast. As we got a monastery now for TaToH. He's also getting the crossbow upgrade because his archers are still at large. They're still coming in from the top side here. Something that Liereyy, I mean, he can't see it, but he might be able to see it in his Fog of War at some point. Oh, but TaToH, look at what he was doing. He wanted to come in here and raid this wood line, but Liereyy, I'm not sure if he saw that. I'm not sure if he just got a glimpse right there. He's getting downwatch now as well, so now he can check it out for sure. But yeah, the villagers aren't in the wood line right now, so there's nothing to raid. I have a game that I lost on ranked 1v1, and I want you to do an analysis of it to see if I could have done. Is it possible? Not today, of course. Yes, that is possible. If you're in the Discord, there is a channel where you can upload games, you know, easily. And, you know, you upload your games there, and then I will cast them, stuff like that on Monday. Or at least, you know, whenever I have time, of course. So, yeah, totally fine. It's in the Discord. If you want to drop it there, I'll have a look at it, and then we'll see if we can cast it. That goes for everyone, by the way. If you have a cool game, please tell me. I'd like more content, obviously. So, totally fine with that. Let's see. I mean, again, like, if you drop it in the channel, no guarantee that I'll cast it, but right now I don't have, like, the same channel like T90 does, where it's, like, 1,000,000 games being submitted, so I actually have, if you guys have a game, very likely that I will have the time to cast it, you know? We're not quite at that viewer number yet, and, yeah, you're welcome, no problem. Rock Knuckles co-cast would be amazing. You mofo want to be laughed at by my voice speaking English. Lol. Lol. Well, I don't think it's going to be like that. We're not laughing at you, we're laughing with you, as Liereyy has a lot of knights right now, and these crossbows are kind of in harm's way here. +2 on his knights as well. No +2 on the knights for TaToH, so he's trying to keep his crossbows safe as well, but yeah, Liereyy gets on the hill, surrounds the crossbows, and that should be a giant clear up there for Liereyy, completely destroying TaToH's forward army, and that military count getting even out a little bit. And TaToH probably done with the crossbow play now. He's like, yeah, screw you, Hera. I know you said crossbows are a thing, but
I'm just gonna play Franks like Franks want to be played here. I'm gonna go for some knights as well. Now, remember, your knights aren't actually stronger than your opponent's knights in Castlade. When you have 2K viewers, do not forget the ones that were here now. Of course, I won't forget you guys. Hey, you guys are like my regulars right now. Those are names that are gonna stick by with me. Obviously, it doesn't matter how many viewers I get. I'll remember you guys. You guys were here when I was small, and that you know, when I wasn't a giant channel. Although, let's be realistic. I don't think we're gonna be a 2K channel anytime soon. That's probably gonna take a while, if I ever get there. So we have some attempted conversions from TaToH. And almost, well, actually a conversion for TaToH as well, because we do know that Franks do not get to make camels. And that's the thing with Chinese. They have the options, and if you want to mix in some camels, there's no reason not to do it. You get heavy camel as well, and this is a problem for Franks, right? If they want to go for knight play. The potential for the opponent to make camels here, that's difficult for TaToH to deal with, honestly. Hearts to you too, guys. So, yeah, TaToH controlling this little hill. Again, a nice little hill in the middle of the map here. Franks with cheap castles could maybe control that as he's getting his second armor upgrade right now. That's probably important as well. And both players just kind of need to go to multiple town centers now and try to get their vill counts up. Liereyy has done that already. He is at 65 villages now. 54 only for TaToH, man. Nice to hear. No doubt you'll get to 2K. Well, I'm happy to hear that you guys have that much faith in me. I mean, it's very difficult, of course, on Twitch to break to get viewer numbers like that, because I don't know, people are creatures of habit. I mean, myself too. You know, you're unlikely to click on a whole lot of streams that you don't know about. Like, you kind of have to happen to fall into a stream and then find out that it's awesome and then stay there. As, Liereyy bringing in his giant force from the back here. Lots of camels in there as well. Dropping a TC at the same time. Some conversions coming in for TaToH as he's taking a fight. But there's just so much more military on the field for Liereyy here. And most of it is camels. Well, a lot of it is camels as well. And TaToH's force is getting cleared up. And what do you do as Franks when Chinese start to get their camels out? I mean, TaToH is still trying. He also recognizes he doesn't want to go to a game 5 because he's so close to beating Liereyy here on King of the Desert Arabia. But what are you going to do against Chinese? Look at that giant mass here. I'm thinking at this point you probably need to switch into something else. Yeah, that was not the best fight for TaToH. I mean, he wanted to do some damage, but unfortunately, there's just too many camels out there now. And that's the thing, right? Even if you switch into pikemen now, then Chinese will just switch into something else that counters you. That's the worst part about countering Chinese. They just always have the options. As TaToH's forced to take a fight, that's not a fight that he would take if he thought he was going to win this game. And I think he's going to call the GG here. And there we go. We are going to go to a game freaking 5. Oh my god. What are these players doing with my emotions here? Jesus Christ. What an awesome set this has been. And Liereyy actually does, like I said, Liereyy actually does it. If there's someone that can come back, Liereyy is one of those players that could do it. And frick, TaToH must be thinking like, crap, I was so close here. And now it's game 5, it's 2-2, and both players could win this. And oh boy, are the TaToH fans gonna be heartbroken if Liereyy wins the next game? Oh boy, that means you guys. Oh god. But yeah, I mean, this is again not bad, like, it's not like TaToH played bad here. He didn't. He played really well, but Chinese have options, and this is what makes Chinese so strong. It's what makes them so dangerous on a map like Arabia, because they have all those options. And Franks, yes, they are strong at what they do, but if what they do gets countered, which camels counter what Franks do, Franks have a problem, a big problem. Which is why sometimes opening with pikemen and halberdier is not the worst choice. But remember that TaToH was also making, I mean, Liereyy also has the chance of making long swords. He can make crossbows if he wants to. Anything, really. That's the thing with Chinese. You just have the options there. The only thing that they're not good at is countering siege. That's not... Chinese have trouble dealing with that. They don't have the best siege in the world themselves. They have most of it, but not any bonuses related to it or anything. They don't have redemption on their monks. That's a big deal. So that's actually a good way to counter Chinese. Siege push them. They have a hard time dealing with that one. Yeah, more resources collected for Liereyy. His economy was growing as well, something that TaToH was probably keenly aware of. 60 to 74 villagers. Oh my god. Spike of APM there at the end as well. Like one of those Liereyy spikes. Now, I don't want to stay too long here, so let's see if the game 5 is there already. It's not! So, wow, we actually get to look at the draft today. Wow, look at that, we caught up. Here you go. This is the draft, if you didn't get to see it yet. Now, let's see. I have to remember. So, it was a loss for TaToH with Franks, a win with Chinese, a win for Liereyy with Vikings as well, loss with the Tars, win with Indians, and a win with Burgundians, loss with Khmer, and a loss with Huns. So we got Malians and we got Japanese. I think Liereyy... what's he going to do here, actually? Let's think about that. Because Malians, that's more a cavalry civ. Japanese, probably going to go for Arbalest. That is their strongest late-game unit, right? You're going to be up against Sicilians. You're going to be up against Magyars. So it's going to be Knights for TaToH. That's pretty clear. So TaToH probably going to go for Sicilians. And those are good civs. They're strong civs, Magyars and Sicilians both. I mean, Magyars are great with aggression, but Sicilians have just, units that just cannot be freaking killed. And I keep hammering on the fact that do not go camels against Sicilian knights. Just don't do it, because your camels do as well as your knights would against Sicilian knights. Like, there's no reason to make camels. And after that, and even if you win the fight, then you're stuck with camels. That's not ideal. So Sicilians are very counterintuitive civ to play against, I mean, so, I don't know, man. Now, if you go Malians, right, Farimba camels can kill Sicilian Cavalier, right? Right, that is a possibility. But I'm pretty sure that Lierey's going to go for Japanese, and I'm pretty sure, indeed, that he's going to play the archer role. That wouldn't surprise me. That is something that he feels most comfortable in. And, oh, how you doing, Lord Roderick, by the way? If I didn't see you already in chat, good to see you, man. Japanese probably the most comfortable civ for Liereyy to play, because it is archers. That is what he likes to do. You don't get Arbalest with Malians or a Bracer, one of the two. You definitely don't get Bracer, that I do know for sure. So, yeah. But again, Farimba Cav does counter Sicilian Cavalier to a certain degree, but yeah, I agree too. The Japanese probably the one he's going to go for. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get Sicilians from TaToH as well, unless he thinks Magyars is the way to go. And great, man, watching the best caster. Yay! Thanks, man. This might actually end up in being one of those full feudal gameplay games where everyone just makes a shit ton of scouts and no one goes up to Castle if TaToH goes for Magyars. Wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, in any case, yeah, we'll bet Japanese and Sicilians. Yes. Yeah, Sicilians Magyars is a hard pick. I agree, but I'm gonna bet Sicilians just because of Sicilians being OP, and also having more. Like, that's the thing. Magyars have less options than Sicilians, right? Are Sicilians, and Sicilians have a very open tech tree, and I think TaToH will probably like that. That has more strategic diversity. Almost 50% of your viewers today are Topos Unidos. Well, you guys are an awesome team, so that makes total sense. I really appreciate that you guys have really taken to me as a team. I mean, I love casting you guys anyway, so... And the other one is Neo, exactly. Neo and Topos Unidos. Well, I'm all in for it, you guys. I'm all in for it. Oh, well, let me check actually if the game is already getting started here. Let's see. Oh boy, game 5 hype. Oh god, here we go. Here we go again. Oh, wow, they already started 4 minutes ago. Whoops. Okay, hang on. We're gonna get into this game as well. I just want to have a look at the draft too, so we can speculate a little bit for you guys. No worries. Just because we're a few minutes behind doesn't matter too much. Let's see if I can find the game. No, I can't find the game because I don't need to actually type game ID in the search bar as well. That doesn't really help me, no, does it? Lel. Whoops. Alright, well, are you guys ready? 5th game. Everything's gonna come down to this moment right here. This is exciting. It really is. And yeah, good luck, have fun from TaToH, and yeah, definitely so. You too. Great stuff right here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. In any case, in the green we have Liereyy, and in the blue we have TaToH, and this is game 5 in a best of 5. So this game is the match point for both players. TaToH went ahead by 2 games. Liereyy then came back with 2 games as well. And now suddenly we have an even game. Jesus Christ. But we have Malians for Liereyy, surprising everyone. We thought he was going to go Japanese, but Malians still has some options here if you get to Imp, that is. You know, you need to get to Imp here. That's the thing with Liereyy. He has to be able to get to Imp. That's when the power for Malians really starts against Sicilian. But Sicilians have all the options before then. And TaToH, he's going to make it very difficult for Liereyy for sure. Oh, a show match with Neo versus Topos Unidos casted by the Red Prince. I'm in. Well, just give me a time. Just give me a time and date. Oh, actually, I should probably give you a time and date. It's probably better. Anyways, yeah, I mean, like, the thing is with Sicilians, right? The thing that is always so scary about them is the fact that they take half bonus damage on their units. So say a knight that takes 9 damage from a camel normally, a Sicilian knight only takes 4.5 damage. And as a result, depending on how you round that up, camels do basically equal, right? Do basically on par with a normal knight against Sicilian knights. So there's absolutely no reason to make camels here. Pikemen's kind of a similar situation, although it's still the most cost-effective way to counter them as well. You know, so yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Malians, until Imperial Age, until they get their Farimba cavalry out, you know, that gives you extra attack on your camels, which will allow you to kill, which will allow you to kill Sicilian cavaliers, hopefully, right? That might be to do the trick here for Malians, but that is such a long way away, and not a lot of these games have actually gone to Imp. Most of them have actually ended in Castle Age or late Castle Age, you know, so. Yeah, I'm just saying, this is going to be a big challenge for Liereyy, and he might feel the need to lame. Nope, no laming from him. I guess that's just not his style then. Could have lamed that one, actually. Although TaToH Scout is in position to stop that, but this is not like he could have get away with that anyways. Probably too big of a risk. He's thinking about it, though. He's definitely thinking about it. It's yeah, but I mean, like, I mean, it's such a risk to take as well in the last game of this final. But he is thinking about laming, and TaToH knows that as well. Doesn't have Loom right now. Should probably just get Loom or bring back a Scout, push away Lierey's Scout, and he should be fine. Now, talking about resources in the meantime, we got a back gold for TaToH. We got 4 berries on a hill. That's an awkward berry spot right there. A lot of pressure that could be coming in for Liereyy as well. And that front, as TaToH just brings back his Rhino now. Liereyy has to run away because he took some damage on the Scout there. And yeah. Also, the woodlines are quite close to the TC, so it's actually very wallable, this map as well. But that is the same for Liereyy on the other side here, who has a back gold as well. Also has his berries for it, but his berries are a little bit on the other side here. On a hill, though, the same as TaToH. So both players have this little bowl going on hill-wise, but the hills are quite close to your TC. So if you wall on top of them, it's not the biggest problem, but still, it's difficult, right? You can't, for example, easily TC this. Although, is that 4 tiles? I think so. I think you could actually place a TC right there. So that if you needed to place a TC, that is, you know, that's doable. So what do we expect then for the 2 players? Now, the thing with Sicilians is you can't counter their scouts with spearmen easily. That doesn't really work. So going for archers here wouldn't be the worst idea for Liereyy. Like, Malians can do this, right? Malians have the options. They are a very flexible civilization. Not so much anymore because they used to have that gold mining technology for free. That was what really made them such a flexible civ, because you had a whole lot of gold to do anything you wanted. That's taken away now. Now it's the gold mines last longer, which means that the later the game goes, the better for Malians it is. But, and I say that in general, actually. I think Lierey's biggest chance is either he does a whole lot of damage to TaToH in the early game, yeah, or he makes it to Imperial Age and gets Farimba camels. That is a very strong option against Sicilians as well. We saw that actually in Virgo Cup. There was this one, what was it? There was the, it was the finals, Category C finals. One team went Sicilians and the other team had Malians, and Farimba camels absolutely shredded the Sicilian Cavalier. Until then, the Sicilian Cavalier were destroying everything, but once Farimba came out, suddenly those camels started absolutely annihilating the Cavalier, but not before. And remember, Malians do not get the final attack upgrade, so you definitely need to get Farimba. So it's, again, a lot to do if you want to get that Clash of Red Prince fans. Well, I'm totally willing to host a show match, you guys. Totally willing. We should set that. We should set that up sometime. Let's do it. As we got TaToH going to Feudal Age now, getting his eco tags, keeping himself very safe. He's not really doing anything beyond scouts, I should presume. He's not on gold or anything, so it should just be a stable that will be coming up here in a second as he's gathering the wood. After King of the Desert, I agree. That'd be nice schedule-wise for me as well. As Liereyy losing a villager here to his scout as the TaToH is trying to go for a second villager, trying to block it as well. Is he going to commit to it? Gets the villager as well. 2 villagers down for Liereyy there. I don't know what happened there. Man, I wish... Oh yeah, well, I tell you what happened there. The scout got here in Feudal Age, saw a villager, sniped it. Villager tried to be, Liereyy tried to quick wall that in. That did not work. And then Liereyy sent another villager to help. And then that villager got sniped as well. Because remember, these scouts are in Feudal Age. They can still kill villagers. And bad start there for Liereyy. A nice micro for TaToH indeed. Really good micro, in fact. We have scouts coming out now for Liereyy. He wants to do some damage as well, but yeah, spearman already there to stop that from happening. TaToH has gone for some small walls that will, he'll have to expand out of that at some point, but for now it will keep him safe. He only has to guard this little opening here with the spearman. Of course, the berries are a prime target for the early aggression for Liereyy, but he will probably feel behind right now. He's 3 villagers behind there. Okay, 2. He was just... he was about to get that villager. 2 villagers behind that. After TaToH snipes those 2 villagers, and trust me, the 2 villagers at the start of the game are worth way more than they are the later this game goes. Now Liereyy is gonna get better walls up, right? His walls are gonna be more, are gonna be bigger, right? They're gonna be, they're gonna comprise more of a base, but yeah, he has had to pay the lives of 2 villagers to do it. And TaToH, he's just gonna go straight up to Castle Age, isn't he? He just wants to get to his knights. Honestly, it's just like, if I can get to knights, we're good. We're good. And that's also a thing. I read a post earlier on Reddit. Like with Sicilians, it's basically if you go knights, and the moment your opponent tries to go for counter units, you've already kind of won the game. Because counter units really don't stop knights if there's a hole in the wood line. Don't show him. Don't show him. Don't show him. He thinks he thinks she's fully walled. Don't show him. Oh, if Liereyy didn't see that, right? If he assumes that this is walled. TaToH now knows where to send his knights. I don't think he showed his scout. That is so smart. So smart. Imagine if he ran in here. Liereyy would have gone like, wait, where's that scout going from? Right? Where's that scout coming from? There must be a hole. Let's plug that. And he would have put a house there and it would have been fine. But now, Lierey's busy raiding in the back. TaToH not losing that villager. And look at that. TaToH, he wants to sell some of the stone. He wants to get up as fast as he can. Because he knows now, I can get some knights, and if I can get them in right here through that hole, I can wreak havoc on his base. Now, he's not selling stone just yet. You, of course, start with 100 extra stone, right? So there's always you can always sell that stone just to get yourself up a little bit faster than everyone else. And then still be able to drop 2 TCs in the next stage. It's going to be very annoying with these scouts now that they're inside TaToH's base. But yeah, TaToH has spearmen patrolling around. They will keep chasing these scouts into perpetuity. And TaToH will be the first to click up here without selling a stone, by the way. It still has enough stone for 3 town centers now. And a stable coming up now, and I wonder, he's definitely going to make knights. And I wonder if Liereyy is going to find this hole. Oh, it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal. Because imagine if you don't know. If you don't know that hole exists, and suddenly 4 Sicilian knights show up in your base, and you don't have your own knights out. Imagine that they can get into your gold, your wood line, all the quick walls you have to do. It's just horrible. As it's actually Liereyy who clicks up first here, because TaToH didn't have a second building yet. Oh, smart from Liereyy, delaying that stable for now, because now TaToH's going to be up a bit later, which is unfortunate for him. Okay, there's the villager. Yeah, he's going to be about a minute behind now, so that allows Liereyy to get some knights or camels out. Although I hope he doesn't make camels. Please make knights. You got to make knights. Don't make camels. Don't do it. It doesn't help you. It really doesn't. Like, I will show you as soon as a camel comes out, I will show you the attack, and you can do the math then yourself to see that it really doesn't help you. Double stable. It's definitely going to be knights now. And it's still, Liereyy hasn't walled it, and TaToH knows all about this now. All about this. Yeah, it's it's just kind of a mistake from Liereyy to assume that that is walls with the wood line. It's not. It's not. It's actually... You could even know, right? You could actually know if he looks at TaToH's map, right? Because the one thing that's always equal on this map, King of the Desert 4, you always have the same number of wood lines. TaToH has 4 wood lines. If you only see 3, that means that 1 wood line is actually 2 wood lines. And this is 2 wood lines. Looks like 1, it's actually 2. There's a hole. So you always gotta check that. That's just a tip for you. Like, I've just been observing this. It's always the same number of wood lines. They're not in the same place, but they're definitely the same number. As Liereyy, I was just going to drop a TC on this gold. I figured there was going to be a TC on this woodline on gold right there. A monastery coming out. That's actually a pretty good counter against Sicilians until First Crusade, you know? Because First Crusade, yes, it gives you sergeants, but mostly what it does is it gives your units resistance to conversion. As TaToH makes it to castle, it instantly gets some knights out. And Liereyy, thank God, is making knights because that would have been... That would have been troubling if he had started making camels, and TaToH being a minute behind might actually take away that opportunity for him to run in here. But patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. And waiting, just waiting a while, right? Getting your numbers up first and then running in with like 20 knights at the same time while Liereyy is somewhere else. That might be the finishing blow. So if TaToH is smart about it, he might keep his knights at home, defends a little bit, stops Liereyy from getting in here. And then once he has a good amount of knights, then he runs through the hole and then he gets the kill. And we're just waiting for it now. As the scouts, the scouts getting in on the town center for Liereyy. It's a doubt center. It's a total doubt center. That villager is not going to finish that. Nope. Even though you're Sicilians and you build it twice, it's fast. 99.10%. And 3 villagers going down there for Liereyy. TaToH is on top of all of this. On top of all of this. He's in a great spot right now. As, there was a hole right there. And TaToH blocks that off and Liereyy deletes his knight so it can't get converted. As the monk survives as well. The scout cavalries go down. And that's the end of that. TaToH's building his knight numbers. Has only 4 knights so far. Not a lot of upgrades on them. Especially missing the armor. Something that I see both pros do here. Why are we getting attacked first? Because I know in a knight fight, right, armor doesn't really matter that much. But, I mean, in the end, getting armor is basically the same as taking an attack away from your opponent. So it doesn't really matter if you get foraging or scale bonding. But if you do manage to get into your opponent's base, scale bonding will keep you alive from the town center fire. Your attack upgrade's not going to do that. So I don't know. I don't think that's... I would still get armor first, even if it's a knight v knight. It's okay, armor is... Yeah, I know, it's true, right? Armor is most useful versus archers, this is true. But in the end, armor and attack, it doesn't actually give you... It's the same effect, right? +1 attack wins fights. But remember, if you get armor, it's -1 attack for your opponent. So it's really the same. Except you also have armor that helps you against the TC fire. That's why I'd still prefer the defense upgrade. Although, and this is true, I mean, it does allow your knights to kill units faster, say, villagers and things like that. Although, you know, both knights have the same thing going on now. We have an attempted conversion from TaToH there. But yeah, Lierey's just going to run away from that. Knight number's still growing. And see, he's being very patient right now. He's being very patient. He could have run in with 3 knights, but he's waiting. He knows that hole is there. He's probably going to assume that Liereyy probably walls it, but he hasn't walled it. So that hole is still here. That hole, if he just is patient and waits for the knight numbers, he can run in there with Sicilian knights, and that would be devastating. Although, I hope he gets armor before he does that, though, because if you're going to run into someone's base, you kind of need the armor. Yeah, and it's only... I don't understand why he didn't sell the stone earlier, honestly. Like, you have that stone to sell. Just sell the stone, get out the castellates, and he would have been able to already run in there by now, probably. 12 knights already. Not a lot of upgrades on him, though, but that's the same for Liereyy. Both of them prioritizing the attack upgrade here. Yeah, I mean, if you expect to get into your opponent's base, you definitely need the armor upgrade. Because remember, there's only 2 pierce armor on these knights. That's not enough to sit under a town center. You do not want to sit under a town center here. Liereyy, 14 knights, 13 knights for TaToH. He's also at still 2 stables for Liereyy, but he's not producing out of both of them at the same time all the time. That's because Liereyy has added well, I said it as town center, but it's actually TaToH was producing more of it. Lots of ILTC time for Liereyy. So TaToH is now 10 villagers ahead of Liereyy. Jesus Christ. That's not just ILTC time, that's also sniping us. Oh no! He runs in and Liereyy sees the hole. What an anticlimax. Oh, TaToH, all that build up and then nothing gained from it. And Liereyy is like, phew, I've dodged a bullet there. And yes, you did. Yes, you did. You definitely dodged a bullet, because honestly, with how many villagers have already died for Liereyy here, and how many villagers TaToH is ahead, that honestly could be GG. 20 knights in your eco, even if you still have 20 knights in the field, when you lose that much eco, that might be GG. And Liereyy, yeah, he's gonna have to make some miracles happen here, because TaToH is not interested in going to imp here. No, he's dropping more stables. He wants to get his knight mass up as good as he can. Still gathering some relics as well. The light gap going down, trying to snipe the monks, and Liereyy wants to go for conversions. So does TaToH. Let's see, 1 conversion, 2 conversions. Let's see how many conversions we're gonna get here. 1 conversion, 2 conversions, 2 conversions, and then we take the fight. Who has more knights? It's more knights for Liereyy right now. More knights for Liereyy. Again, the knights are gonna do equally in that regard. And Liereyy also has the armor upgrade, which should definitely help you here. But it still seems like TaToH is winning this fight a little bit. No, he has more knights, but less HP. So Liereyy should win this fight in the end. But again, it's an even trade. And this will favor Liereyy, you know. You want to stop TaToH from getting to a big army mass, you know. Because TaToH is thinking about spamming from 4 stables here. It's going to take a while to get the number enough knights up, again, to take fights conclusively here. So again, this favors Liereyy a little bit. It buys him a bit of time. But he also has less eco. So, you know. Adding another town center might be an idea here. He is dropping a market. He might sell a stone then, but yeah, maybe if Liereyy can boom his way out of trouble, perhaps that's a possibility. But right now, TaToH is just so far ahead. 68 to 52 villagers, and TaToH's like, okay, you know, so I was gonna make a whole lot of knights, but let's get a town center up on this gold, protect that, and then just boom a little bit more. TaToH also getting his armor upgrade now. Again, if your opponent has armor and you do not, then yeah, it's of course, that's not ideal, as we have an attempted conversion for both sides here. Conversion coming in for Liereyy, but he's going to lose the monk as a result. Another conversion attempt for him as well. TaToH running away from that for now. That gum indeed. As Liereyy, he did sell his stone. Yeah, he did sell his stone just to get some extra knights out. But I wonder if that's the right call here, because he's essentially kind of all in now. Kind of. Not really, because he's still on 2 town centers, but he's only producing from 1 because he simply doesn't have the food to produce from 2. He is going for 4 stable knights then. 4 stable knights, more monasteries. Liereyy is all in basically now. He's all in basically now. He has to kill TaToH. He has to kill him now. Has to overwhelm this knight force and has to start killing town centers. This is really important to do. You know, raiding on the sides might be a good idea as well, but I'll tell you, this is going to be very risky. Liereyy probably realizes I'm probably behind. I have to deliver the final blow here. Something. As TaToH tries to get to the monk with the light cap. The monk survives for now. TaToH though coming in from the other side with 2 light cap, but they're just going to go down. Okay, none of that. As we got some knights trying to run in here. Conversion for TaToH as well, using his monks. Very persuasive indeed. And yeah, Lierey's just going to have to run away now. Army counts are so similar, but more knights on the field for Liereyy for so far, as he takes out a light cap because that's dangerous to his monks. Monks coming forward as well, but lots of monks on the field for TaToH. And that's the thing. Liereyy might have more knights, but if TaToH gets 4 conversions, then suddenly TaToH has more knights. Also, you know, again, the better knights, because these knights don't take any damage from counter units whatsoever. Well, I mean, half, but still, it's less. And this is the difficulty, right? Like, normally what you would do if your opponent has a lot of knights, you make camels, right? This is what Malians would do. You make camels and you just kill them that way. But you can't do that against Sicilians. You just can't. Which is why I'm glad to see that TaToH went for Sicilians and not for Magyars, because Magyars wouldn't have been able to do that. Malians would have been able to go for camels against them, and it would have been a bad matchup for the Sicilian players. There's a hole between the houses. Liereyy running in here, but TaToH closely chasing. +2 armor coming in as well for Liereyy. A very important upgrade fighting on the town centers. Liereyy trying to go for some attacks here, but there's so many knights there as well. He's trying to split up his forces a little bit because he recognizes, I need to get damage. I need to do damage. But he's still 20 villagers or so behind here. 15 really. Knight numbers per TaToH still looking pretty good here. Liereyy has more knights on the field, but not all of these knights are here. Tato taking a fight on this side. Liereyy has more knights, so this should be a victory for Liereyy, especially as that +2 armor comes in. And now his knights are way tankier than TaToH's units. At the front as well, Liereyy attacking the town center, recognizing there's gold to be mined there. We need to stop him from doing that. Idle him any way we can. We need to put in the pressure. We need to open the floodgates. We need to flood the map here. But it's 18 knights for TaToH. It's 14 knights for Liereyy. It is 77 villagers for TaToH. It's 64 for Liereyy. As Liereyy gets a conversion, gets another conversion. That's lucky for him, evening out the knight numbers a little bit. Now it's 11 knights for TaToH and 16 for Liereyy. What's happening on the right? I mean, it's just some raiding going on. The knights have pretty much died by now, all of them for Liereyy. But yeah, now he's sending more knights on the left. But the problem is he just doesn't have the massive knights to ever kill TaToH, right? He's just continuously sending them in. And TaToH is just continuously spamming knights as well to stop that from happening. I mean, a lot of his economy is idle right now, so it's like Liereyy has more villagers right now because his villagers are actually working. And TaToH does not have the +2 yet. And like I said, the armor still denies one attack. So really, it's like TaToH's knights have no attack upgrade now because it's negated by the armor from Liereyy. And the TC about to might actually go down now. A lot of idle eco for TaToH indeed. There's a lot of villagers in here. 15, 12 villagers, 12 knights only for TaToH here. As lots of monks as well. Liereyy going to try to get a lot of conversions. Lightcav coming in. Is he going to get any conversions at all? As the Lightcav are making their way through the monks. I think a bunch of conversions did come in. Hard to tell though. As TaToH is forced to take this fight. That is not a good fight for TaToH at all. Is this all in for Liereyy actually going to work here? This crazy freaking game. There's not a lot of military in the field right now for TaToH here. It's not. He's still trying to get some Lightcav out to spam to kill the monks. There's not a whole lot of monks out for Liereyy. He could kill the TC now if he wanted to because there's not a whole lot. Is this actually going to end now for TaToH after two games won against Liereyy, then 2 games won for Liereyy, and now the last game and Liereyy is all in. He's trying to get back as good as he can. You know, TaToH probably trying to repair his town center a little bit. I think Liereyy could probably maybe send the knights in and could go for that as well. What a crazy game so far. More military in the field for Liereyy, and yeah, he's gonna go for the TC now. TaToH desperately trying to repair this. He doesn't have the gold now to make a whole lot of knights. He doesn't have the gold. There's no gold in his base, or barely any at that. And the TC is gonna go down in so many villagers. That is the build difference right there. That is the build difference right here as it gets even out. 28 eco KD for Liereyy. His all-in has worked officially now. This is exactly what you want to do with an all-in. Get that damage in, and then at the end, you have the better military. Still more knights on the field for Liereyy. Even though here it's actually 11 versus 11. So it might actually even out over here. TaToH might just even this. But again, TaToH's now behind in villager count as a result of all this pressure. Oh my god. And remember also that Malians, this is something that Malians can do really well. Because remember that Malian gold lasts longer. So even though Lierey's been spamming knights, he still has gold available to him. It's going to last a while before that runs out. As more and more knights come out, TaToH only has 9 knights. Liereyy has double the amount of knights. That town center is denied. You're now 7 villages behind suddenly. And your opponent has more military than you. And TaToH, he is trying, but he just doesn't have the numbers. He's fighting with villagers against the knight right now, out of desperation, and what a heartbreaker it is. What a heartbreaker it is. He was so close to beating Liereyy in a set. So close indeed. I mean, he hasn't given up yet, and I'm not going to call it until he does, but it's not looking good for Tati right now. It's not looking good. Oh, God. And that's the worst part. No gold. He doesn't have any gold. He's forced to drop a TC in the middle of nowhere on a wood line. He's on stone a lot right now. He wants a castle maybe to defend himself. That is a desperation castle right there. If you throw 13 villagers on stone. Unfortunately, just way more knights for Liereyy. All the golds for TaToH are out here. That's not a safe gold. This gold is not available. TaToH has no gold. 3 knights. And I cannot see how Liereyy loses this battle now. the insane pressure that he put on TaToH, getting that +2 before, and TaToH says, GG, well played, and Liereyy completes the reverse sweep in what has been an insane set. Jesus Christ. Oh, what a heartbreaker though for TaToH. He was so close. He was so freaking close. Almost there, but Liereyy is such a tough freaking player to play against, and this is why he was seen as the favorite. We were all surprised when he was down 2-0, not because TaToH is a bad player, but because Liereyy is that good. And oh, but he was so close. He could have done it. Man, he can be proud of himself, man. Like he almost had it. Almost had him, and just proving once again that no pro player is absolutely dominant today. Even a Liereyy cannot just say, oh, I can easily 3-0 people here. It's not like the heyday of the Viper, you know, where he just beat everyone senseless. No, we are in the muddled reality of everyone has a chance against everyone. 3-0s are rare here, man. And oh, thanks, Ramses. See you next. And then thanks for hanging out as well, man. Really appreciate it. And also, hi, not Nico. Good to see you, man. Comeback or throw? Good question. That's actually a really good question. This game, kind of a throw. Although honestly, excellent as always. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. I mean, kind of a throw here. I think the fact that you have a giant wood line in the base for Liereyy here that he does not know about. I think what TaToH should have done here is go all in knights himself, right? Instead of trying to boom, sell your stone, get up to cast leads, make knights, and hit Lierey's base. If you see this giant hole, right? Hit Liereyy where it hurts. Get on into his gold. Don't allow Malians to actually get back in here. Because Malians, they had to do it with raw power right now. And they did it, though. They did it. And I think, yeah, I agree that the moment that he went up to castles later, Liereyy kept sending knights forward. And remember, Liereyy recognized the threat. He knew the longer this game goes, if I can't get the Imp, the Sicilians will absolutely beat me senseless. If I can't get to Faremba Camels, then I'm screwed. So I need to make sure that the Sicilians can never get to a large knight mass. I have to be on the aggressive. I have to take the initiative. And the initiative was his because he went up earlier. He had more knights at the start. And remember, it's still equal knight-wise. Knight or knight side is better, which means that Sicilians can still lose that. And unfortunately, they did lose that. And poor TaToH as well, you know, his gold spots weren't very good. And unfortunately for him, his gold mines do not last as long. So Malians can always outlast Sicilians at that. Never was able to quite get up the Imp. You know, he's kind of like he's kind of like doing a bit of both, right? He added a 4th DC, but then he also had, or a 3rd DC, I mean, but he also had 4 stables. You know, it's difficult to do both at the same time. And then, you know, if he had a castle on his hill, that would have been really nice next to this gold, but yeah. So yeah, maybe this game, I think Sicilians should be able to beat Malians here. But Liereyy just took the right approach. The all-in ended up working. It was close, but it ended up working for him. Very nice conversions as well. That definitely helped them. That's an important part of this, right? It wasn't just the knights. It was also the conversions. It was, and having more knights in TaToH and taking knights away from TaToH. That was the key there. Now, as for the second and the fourth game, I think that TaToH's Civ wasn't as good. You know, like for example, Indians, Huns, like definitely a good Civ matchup for TaToH. But then Chinese, Franks, Chinese are played well. Franks, yeah, it will struggle a little bit against that. So yeah. But man, what a heartbreaker this was. He's so close. What a crazy set though. Fantastic. Let's see, we'll have a look at the KD. In the end, the KD also, this tells you a lot as well. Now, this is also going to be villagers. A lot of this is going to be villagers and a few light cav in there as well. So the KD actually really close. And it was actually TaToH who got more conversions than Liereyy. Wow. Wow, I felt it was actually Liereyy who had more, but it's TaToH who was the better monk player right here. Look at that. And the army high for Liereyy, just a tad bit higher. And I know that doesn't look like a lot, right? It's like, oh, it's only 5 units. But trust me, 1 unit can already lead to a snowball. Because once you start losing mass, you know, it starts, you know, every time you lose a knight, it's suddenly somewhere there is a 2v1 between knights. Because there's one more knight for you. Which means that that knight dies faster. And at some point you have a 3v1, then a 4v, and it just keeps getting worse, right? That's how that snowballs. So that already can make a huge difference. Economy for TaToH must have been better at the start, but then Liereyy caught up, and especially getting way more gold out there. Getting way more gold from the same gold mines as well, definitely helping you there. Looking at Society at Vilkanswa, in the end, very even. TaToH, he made 122, but he lost a whole bunch before he got to that higher number. Yeah, man. Jeez. Both players, you know, trying to make it work there, but some little nice Liereyy little peaks there. My God. Wow, that was an insane set, though. What a way to start of the day, too. That's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.